One of the things I've always wanted to ask you, I mean, when did you start being a wrestling fan? At what age?
About probably 3 years old.
Wow. And you already knew your uncle was a wrestler and stuff like that at that point, stuff like that. Like, when you first started growing up, would you go to the matches with your uncle at all?
No. I'd go with my mom and my brothers and stuff, and not with him. No, he was too busy.
Did he smarten you up to the business at an early age, or did that come later on?
Way later.
Okay. How often did he stay in character around you when you were a young kid?
He was always the Sheik.
Right.
Always, 24 hours.
Right. I mean, as far as like your relationship with him, how close did you become to him?
Pretty close, like a father, son.
Right.
I wouldn't say he was my dad, but I'd say he was like my father. He was cool as shit.
Right. And at that point, you always wanted to be a wrestler and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You knew what
since I was like 3 years old. I always wanted to be a wrestler since I was 3, but I realized that I was going to be a wrestler probably when I was like 12.
Right.
You know, that's when I actually started preparing for it.
What kind of preparations did you go through?
Just beating myself up and learning how to wrestle.
Did anybody take you under the wing? Did Sheik take you under his wing at all?
Yeah, after I amateur wrestled for 5 years. I amateur wrestled for 5 years, junior high and high school. And then I took a year off. I got hurt, and then after I got recovered, I went out to my uncle's for him to train me, and he did.
What was his training like?
It was a bitch. Actually, I didn't get to see a ring for like 7 months. I had to chop wood and clean the house and do everything like a cocksucker, but I just did it,
Right.
And then after 7 months of living with him, I got to work out in the ring.
As far as when you first got in the ring, what was your expectations going into it?
I don't know. I knew it was going to be hard to set myself apart from everybody else, but I really didn't have much expectations. I just knew that's what I wanted to do. If it was going to be good or bad, I still was going to do it. If it was good or bad for me, I was still going to do it.
Were you a fan of, when you were younger, of the big time shows, the style? Is that what you mainly watched growing up?
Yeah, I wasn't really a fan of the style, but I was a fan of the
Right.
Of
Who did you like before you were actually trained, like when you were really young? Who were like some of your favorites?
Before I knew the business?
Right.
Like Bobo Brazil, the Sheik, of course the Sheik. But he wasn't like a wrestler. He was just special attraction, like Andre the Giant. Even to me, he was a special attraction. Whenever I got to see him, I knew it was a treat. But I wasn't going to watch a wrestling match. I knew that.
Right.
But like for wrestlers, I like Louis Martinez. He was a good wrestler. Don Kent. A lot of guys. I don't know. If you look at them now, they didn't look that good, but then they look great. Because you didn't have nothing to compare them to.
Right.
But now, everything is evolved into so scientific and shit. It sucks, kind of.
Did you have any other influences from other like TVs, from like WWF? What TVs were out here that you?
I didn't WWF. I didn't see that until I was like 19 years old. But all I ever seen was like big time wrestling.
Right.
The wrestling that was around here, Detroit wrestling.
Right.
But I'd see magazines about other shit, other guys, but I didn't know who they were.
Right.
I just knew who they were by magazines. I've never seen them wrestle until videotape.
Mm-hmm.
When Sheik started training you, what was the first lessons that he started, teaching you? I mean, obviously respect by doing, paying.
Well, first, manners, wrestling manners, be polite to certain guys and how to be polite not to be polite to certain fans, and to be polite to certain fans, and to certain guys. But he didn't say, okay, here's lesson 1. He just he kept calling, going to camp, and I didn't know what he meant. Going to camp, I thought he meant, camping out, but it meant now it's time to learn. From here, this moment on, it's all school, it's all camp. I didn't really realize it. So it wasn't like, okay, here's lesson 1. Everything that came out of his mouth was a lesson.
Right. What do you think some of the most important things that you learned early on?
For one, the manners, respect, and sound wrestling. A lot of guys think a lot of people think I started out flying off the ropes. I didn't. I'd never touched the ropes for 2 years because I learned mat wrestling. Because I don't like doing it. I like a little bit of it, but I don't like doing it, and that's not what now I'm getting paid to do. I get criticized for not mat wrestling, but they're not paying me to mat wrestle. If they paid me to mat wrestle, I'd fucking do it.
Right. As far as the training, did you ever say, "Hey, this is not for me"? This is something that I don't want to do.
Never crossed my mind. Even when I thought it was impossible for me to make it, I still knew that this was it for me. That this was the game for me.
At what age do you think you started learning the psychology of the business and stuff like that? When to do certain things?
Probably about 5 years into it.
Okay.
It didn't happen overnight, that's for sure. It took about 5 years for me when I went to the ring, I knew what I was doing, not just going through the motions or just showing up. There's a big difference. A lot of guys just show up and they're lucky if they get by, and they're happy if they get by. But they don't expect to get by. You know, they always got a doubt. Took me 5 years to get rid of that doubt.
Right. Now, when you first got into the business, what was, I guess, an early promotion territory that you worked for?
I really didn't work for me. Okay, yeah. It was big time wrestling in Ontario. Dave, the Canadian Wild Man, ran a company up there.
What was that like?
That was pretty sweet. We wrestled every day all summer. It was great.
Who are some of the guys that you worked with up there?
The Rock's uncle, Ricky Johnson.
Rocky Johnson?
No, Ricky
No,
Johnson.
Rocky's
his
father.
brother.
Okay, I worked with him a couple times, but I worked with Ricky Johnson for 2 years.
Oh, wow.
You know, I knew him like a brother. I still know him. I mean, we still talk, but he's cool as shit. But that's the Rock's uncle. But anyways, the Sheik was there. Kevin Sullivan and Mark Lewin. Dave, the Canadian Wild Man. Sometimes Bobo. Sometimes Don Kent.
What year is this around?
1985.
Oh, wow. Okay.
85 and 86 when I first started.
Did any guys, the veterans, treat you any differently since you were the Sheik's nephew at all?
Yes and no. He told them, don't treat me, nice or that courteous. Make me take the long road. Don't give me a shortcut. And they did that. Sometimes they went out of their way to be assholes to me. But I thank them now, and I pay them back now. But a lot of them, they treated me a little bit like an asshole. But Sheik told them to.
So do you think it benefited you to be his nephew, or?
Yeah. It could have hurt me, but I think it benefited me. But I don't think it made me. You know.
Right. As far as your first match, what are your memories of your first match?
I remember I got super tired and super hurt. Other than that, like I had guys that after my first match say, "Wow, that was great. This was great. That was great. This was great. That was great." And I go, "Wow, I felt pretty good about it." And then my uncle said, "Sit down." I go, "What?" He goes, "You did that wrong. You did this wrong. You did that wrong." So I didn't need to be told what I did good. I need to be told what I did bad.
Right.
You don't have to improve on the good stuff. You improve on the bad stuff. And that's about every day. Every time I wrestled, my uncle would school me on it for 9 years. Finally, after 9 years, he said that I didn't need to. I made it.
Wow.
But it took him 5 years to say he was proud of me.
Now, also, when you first started wrestling, you used the name of Terry Snooker, right?
Not by choice.
Okay.
Not by
How
choice.
did that come about?
I don't know. I was in the ring one day, and the ring announcer goes, "We got a special. We have a special guest tonight. The brother of Jimmy Snuka." And I'm looking around. He's here. He goes, "Terry Superfly Snuka." I go, "What?" But that wasn't by choice. It was definitely not by choice.
What was your name when you first broke into the business? Was it
Terry SR.
Okay.
I don't know what the SR means. My uncle said that. Made it.
Now, also, your uncle worked for Joel Goodhart in Philadelphia for a couple shots, and I remember you came in with your uncle as Sabu. What are your memories of those appearances?
I remember they didn't want me to wrestle.
They put you in Battle Royal?
There. Sandman was the loudest guy there.
Yeah.
Funny as shit. But I didn't really like it. I wanted to be part of the show. I would have liked it if I was part of the show, but I really wasn't part of the show. They hit me in a Battle Royal
Right.
a couple of times. I think once or twice. I can't remember. And I don't know. I just didn't like it. But actually, I didn't even know that was the same people when I went back for ECW. Todd Gordon. I remember seeing Todd Gordon looking around the corner and looking at, because I was standing next to Sheik, saying that's going to be a bloodbath. I go, "What's wrong with these guys? Don't they know, what this really is?"
Right,
You
right.
know? I didn't know they wanted to believe it, which was cool.
Right.
Sometimes I want to believe it. I never look at guys and go, "Wow, it's going to be a bloodbath." I go, "Man, these guys are going to bleed all over."
Was that the first time that you had matches outside like Ontario and Michigan when you went to Philadelphia? Or where else did you wrestle?
That was my first time in the area for sure.
Right.
I've always wrestled in Ohio and Kentucky and Florida, up and down, I guess north and south, not
Right.
too much west or east or west, whatever.
Right.
But mostly from Michigan down to Florida.
Down south.
As far as the other promotions before you wound up in Memphis, what were they like? I mean, what did you learn in the other territories that you worked?
I really didn't work territory. I work a territory, but I didn't work like a program. I just came in with my uncle and left.
Right.
The only place I really worked the territory was Ontario. That was only during the summer, but that was super great.
You also went to Memphis, I believe, right?
Yeah.
How'd you wind up in Memphis?
What was it? There's a show in Cleveland. Another guy like Joe Goodhart running the show with a bunch of guys on it. Cornette and Lawler and all them, and my uncle and Lawler was talking, and they sent me and Van Dam and a couple other guys, Judge Dredd, and this Vietnamese dude, a friend of ours. Lawler said they were looking for guys, so we went down there for that. But that was 6 years after I started.
Now, how did you know Rob? How did you get to meet him?
He came to my uncle to get trained. He's from Michigan.
Did you guys come up exactly the same time, or were you
No,
first?
I was 5 years ahead of him.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll ask you about Rob later on in the interview. Chris Candido, he was down in Memphis at the time you were down there. What are your memories of Chris when he was down there?
He was all by himself. He didn't give no advice or help, but now he's cool.
What was that territory like as far as working some of the matches down there? Because it was a different style back then.
Yeah, I thought it was all right, but I was doing the wrong thing. They said I was working too hard, and I didn't know what they meant by working too hard. How can you work too hard? It can work not hard enough, but how can you work too hard? Now I understand when you work too hard, but I don't believe it. I just understand when a guy's saying you work too hard. I don't follow it or believe it.
What do they want you to do? To slow down and
Don't try so hard.
punch and kick?
Because we have to wrestle every night. Tonight is not the big show.
Right.
You know, save it for the big show. To me, every time I get in the ring, it's a big show. No matter if there's a lot of people or little people, or not so many people. I mean, my uncle he taught me to treat every show as a big show. Because even if it's one person, if they bought a ticket, that one person is not going to buy 20,000 tickets anyways. So that to them, it's the same show. It's a big show. You know, they're all big shows.
Did you have well, you said you overworked, I guess, in Memphis. They said, did you have any heat? Like I think with like Fuller, it wasn't Fuller like calling you a whole bunch of stuff on TV. Was he shooting on you? I think he called you shampoo or something.
Yeah, they didn't get my name right anyway. They never called me Sabu anyway, which pissed me off. They called me Samu. You know, they go like, "What's Sabu?" Samu's a wrestling name, but Samu was already taken.
Right.
And my uncle named me Sabu, so I was pissed, but I let it go. And I didn't think he was shooting. I mean, maybe he was, but I didn't care.
Right.
When we got in the ring, it was all business.
Right.
You know, even Jeff was a good guy to work with. You know, in the ring.
Right.
You know, I never talked to him outside the ring. Now I do a little bit.
Right.
But then it was when he got in the ring, it was business. You know, nobody gave a shit about nothing. Other than they said I worked too hard, which I didn't understand.
Right.
What about Lawler? How was he towards you?
Lawler's cool.
Right.
At the time, you know, everybody in Memphis at the time was snobby. Because if one guy's in, that means one guy's out.
Right.
If 3 guys are in, 3 guys are out. You know, so every spot is taken or spoken for, and the next guy will work cheaper than the next guy, and the next guy works cheaper than the next guy. So they hate the next guy.
So it's real cutthroat.
Yeah, the clique of Dundee and Lawler and those guys, they hated new guys because they're coming cheaper. But those guys stayed there. You know, Lawler, they weren't going nowhere.
Right, right.
But they needed guys to work with, but they didn't want to pay them or take out from their money. You know.
How was Jarrett as boss? Not Jeff, Jerry Jarrett.
Jerry Jarrett?
Right,
Oh,
right.
he's great. He's cool.
Good promoter?
Oh, yeah. Totally good businessman, yeah.
How'd you wind up in FMW?
I'm not sure how, but I know how. There was a tag team tournament in, I think, 91, and they invited my uncle, and my uncle wanted to bring me, and they didn't care. They just wanted to chic in anybody, so they let me come along, and luckily they liked me.
What was that like for you, to go to Japan?
Oh, it was great.
Did you
Unbelievable.
probably watch the tapes before you went over there and stuff
Yeah.
like that? As far as wrestling style in Japan, how different was it from wrestling in the States?
Well, see, I went to FMW, so it wasn't that much different. It wasn't like All Japan or New Japan. It was
Right.
a garbage company where they bleed and barbed wire and all that stuff. So for me, it was easy because it really wasn't much wrestling technique. It was just bashing each other.
Right. Now, there's a big rumor going before you went over to Japan that your uncle scarred you up before to make your appearance.
Oh,
Okay.
that's completely crazy.
That's like the biggest rumor out there. So.
Are you serious?
Yeah, yeah.
I never heard that.
Yeah.
Wow, I never heard that. No, if you
I
look
think
at
everybody was afraid to ask you.
if you look at my first tour of Japan, I'm scarred, completely scar free. The next tour of Japan, I'm completely scarred, or not, or a little bit scarred.
Right, right.
You know, but from the first tour to the second tour, that's when it happened. It was the second tour. It was my first barbed wire match, and I tried super hard in it. That's why I got all ripped up. Was because I didn't know I was going to have another one.
Oh.
You know. So then I had.
So it was a one-of-a-kind
then a couple
match.
months later, I had like 2 of them. And a couple months later, I had like 4 of them. A year later, I had 16 of them in one tour.
Did you like getting stuck in those matches, or were you
No.
like, enough? This is it.
At first I did because there were few and far between, and they made big deals about them. But when they started doing them every day, I said, bullshit.
Did you ever complain at all, or nah?
To the boys, not to the office.
Right, right. As far as Anita, what was he like to work for?
He was cool. He was a good boss. He was a player coach. That's the only thing I didn't like. But he was totally business. He knew how to draw money. He learned from my uncle. That's what he said.
Right.
But he knew how to do it.
What about Pogo? What was he like to work with?
Is he going to see this?
Probably
You sure that ain't
not.
on? All right.
Nah.
No, Pogo's all right. I never wrestled him, but I always was with him. I might have wrestled him. I can't remember.
Matsunaga, he was over there.
He sucked.
Huh. He was
Yeah,
just a bunch
that's
of
a lot of people don't. Yeah. Mr. D, I think you were in
Mr.
the car.
Danger.
We drove you in the car and was when the fireworks
Oh, yeah.
in Philadelphia. Remember watching the fireworks? We drove you and everything. You were just complaining about Matsunaga.
Probably.
I got Mr. Dane. You got Mr. Shits or something.
He loves the shits.
Hayabusa, you guys pretty much had the same style, similar style. What are your thoughts on Hayabusa?
Yeah,
back
he
then?
stole my shit.
Yeah,
right.
No, but that's cool. He was good. He's like an understudy. When I first went to FMW, he modeled one of his personalities after me. Like the Japanese, they how they teach a young boy is you find 3 guys you consider yourself great. You know, not yourself great, but you consider yourself that you think to yourself, I think these 3 guys are great. And you pattern yourself after those guys. I was one of the guys he patterned himself after, which was cool. I liked him. I still like him. You know, he's a good guy.
In the ring, he was pretty good to work with?
He's very good, yeah.
What was this? We heard a story about Louis Piccoli on the bus with he got fired or something with the. What happened with that?
I got him fired and I felt bad for him. But I made up for it. I tried to make up for it. They kept stopping they didn't like Piccoli and I did. The office didn't, the boys didn't, and I was the only one that liked him. And he kept having to stop to piss, right? Like every 15 minutes, so everybody's getting pissed. So I said, piss in the bottle. So he peed in the bottle. I said, hey, to the referee, the Japanese referee, I go, hey, he peed on the bus. Go, hey, motherfucker, get out of here. But I didn't tell him he peed in the bottle on the bus. And then they go, don't do it no more. And he goes, okay, I won't. So he pees in the bottle, and I'm sitting up front, and he shows me the bottle, right? And I go, hey, look. And they catch him with the bottle of piss. So they yell at him again, so finally go to a rest area, and he doesn't get off the bus. And he pours the piss out the window, and they think he's pissing, but he just poured it out. And they kicked him off the bus and fired him.
Wow.
And I kept, it was my fault. But fuck.
Now, one of the matches that stick out in everybody's mind is the big fire match I had with you, Sheik, and I think Onita, and who else was in that one?
Saka?
No, it was Goto,
Onita,
Sheik.
yeah.
What do you remember of the match?
And what went wrong?
It was the shit. It only lasted 2 minutes.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't even a match. The ring got too hot and we had to get out.
How dangerous was it? Pretty dangerous?
If it would have stayed in, it would have been super dangerous. My uncle got burned up.
Yeah.
Only because he didn't move as fast as the rest of us.
Right. Now, what are your thoughts on Mike Awesome back then?
He was good, real good. He still was good. He's still good. There ain't nothing. He's good.
Is it true, I guess in '93, WWF offered you a deal, but you turned it down?
Yeah.
What happened there?
I just wasn't ready to go. I wanted to work with ECW.
Right. Did they give you a tryout at all, or no?
Yeah, I didn't know what a tryout was at the time, though. They called me, JT Dillon called me and said, Vince wants to get a look at you. He'd like to come in for a tryout. And I didn't know what that was. I figured they want you or they don't. And I go, well, I get paid for it. He goes, yeah. So I was just coming for a payday, not to look for a job. And then after my second match with Owen Hart, I talked to Vince and he said that he wanted me to join the team, all this bullshit. And I said, I don't want to offend you, but I don't want to. He goes, how can you not want to?
Wow.
That's because I'm going to do this thing with ECW. He goes, how can you turn down us for a company that doesn't even exist?
So he
didn't even know ECW existed. He thought it was like the spot shows. You know?
Right. So how did you get in with ECW? How did you wind up there?
I don't know. Dennis Corluzzo said, call Todd Gordon. He's a sucker. And you could probably get $500 off him. I go, nah, I can't do that. So I called Todd Gordon, and I said, hey, this is Sabu. And he goes, hey, Sabu. I go, can I come in? He goes, yeah, come on in. And it happened to be the same day Paulie was there. Paulie didn't invent me or call me in and go, I got a master plan. We just happened to be in the same place at the same time. And same with Taz. We just happened to be in the same place at the same time.
Yeah.
That was one of the first matches you had with
that was the show when Jim Crockett came in.
Right.
Jim Crockett came in.
So what we were originally supposed to be doing was supposed to be setting up make a show with Crockett, the WWN.
The WWN, yeah.
World Wrestling Network.
Because
ECW is supposed to be something Paulie's going to play with, and the guys can get some work until this thing opened up, but it never did.
And they had the one show in New York, right?
Yeah.
How was Dennis to work for?
I like Dennis. Dennis was great.
Yeah.
He was super.
You had some good matches. I think you worked Benoit, too, for Dennis.
Yeah. The first time Benoit worked outside of New Japan.
Yeah, exactly. It was with you in Jersey. As far as Paul Heyman, what were your initial impressions of Paul when you first met him?
I thought he was cool as shit. He's still cool. Just, we have our differences about a lot of shit. But he's a genius. That's for sure. But he thinks he's too much. I don't know. He's cool.
Right.
That's sort of cool.
I'm going to ask you a lot about Paul coming up. But as far as your initial impressions of him and the company, ECW, so when you first came in, you did a program with Taz. It was your first match, really, with Taz. And you guys had a great match.
You know why they put us together? Because they thought we were the same.
Right.
Both wild guys. It's retarded. You don't want two wild guys fighting each other. You want a wild guy against a scientific guy, or a scientific guy against a muscle guy. Two muscle guys are boring, and two flying guys are kind of not boring. But you don't want two flying guys. You want the contrast of styles to clash.
What are your memories of the match, though? Because I remember it was the
first
match?
No.
When you came out, you're throwing the chairs and stuff like that.
Yeah, I liked it, but
whose idea was that? Was that yours with the chairs through the crowd?
Yeah. Not only thing, but Paulie's idea was the gurney thing.
Right.
I didn't like it, not because it wasn't my idea. It was just too much work, to act that way.
Right.
Get out of the chains and then still wrestle and not be tired.
Right.
I was fucking tired.
As far as the match itself, were you happy with it with Taz?
Actually, at the time I wasn't, but now, yeah, I thought it was okay. But at the time I was disappointed because it's just so many things I was trying, I didn't get in or didn't get.
Right.
I missed them, but nobody knew I was missing them or trying them. they're still new.
What did Paul Heyman say to you as far as like
He sucked my dick. He did, just about. I mean, so did Crockett. Everybody was like, "Man, where'd you just fell off the turnip truck? Where'd you come from?"
Huh.
I was already around for 8 years.
Wow. A lot of people will definitely give you credit for being one of the most innovative wrestlers out there as far as your style and stuff like that. You brought a lot to the table, and we'll talk about tables actually as well later on in the interview. But as far as
no interview, that thing on?
No.
As far as Taz, what was he like to work with early on?
He sucks. He's a cocksucking motherfucker. I ain't joking.
Why is that?
He knows. No, it's because I don't know why exactly. He thought everybody was trying to get over on him, but not. Then at the years he tapered down, it was cool.
Right.
But at first he thought everybody owed him something or acted like that. That's the impression I got. And he always tried to intimidate everybody, which was funny,
I'll talk about Taz later. I definitely want to ask you more about him. You also worked Shane Douglas early on.
Taz. What?
Shane Douglas also. What are some of your early memories of working with Shane?
He was good to work with, real good, real professional. He's a cocksucker too, though.
Why is that? Just political reasons, or?
No, I'm just joking. No, I'm joking. Cocksucker ain't necessarily a bad thing.
Okay. Terry Funk, they brought Terry in, and
he's a cocksucker. He's good. I like Terry. Terry's actually my favorite guy in the business.
To work with, or just
in
the
to be
business?
Around, to be around.
Right.
To work with, he's one of my favorite guys to work with too. But my favorite guy to be around. Plus, he helped. He elevated me hugely.
I was going to ask you, how do you credit him as far as
He made me not what I am. He helped me get to where I am. That's
Right.
for sure. The only body I can really credit for who I am, and I can credit myself, my mother and my uncle, and of God, of course. But I didn't make me, and I'm not saying I am something to be proud of. This whatever I am right now is the product of them.
How was Terry to work with in the ring? Incredible, or?
Oh yeah, he's super good.
What-
and good to go over a match with. He didn't harp on things or go over things too much.
What did you learn from
Mostly
Terry?
take it by wing. I don't get more money. I learned a lot. It's hard to explain. If it comes out, I'll tell you. But it's just hard to pinpoint and explain it. A lot of it is stuff you just can't explain. The finer points of wrestling are what make good guys from good to great. A lot of guys are good with know everything to do with wrestling. The guys that are great would know even more. The things in between the things that are great.
Right.
To make the things great.
As far as the night the line was crossed, this is ECW's big turning point. It was the big show. You did the three-way match with Shane Douglas and Terry Funk. What are your memories of that match?
It was long and I was tired and I got hurt, but it was all right. It was a good match. It was real good. And I think that was the first time I heard the chant Terry, Terry, and I got mad. I didn't realize they were chanting for Terry Funk. But they were chanting for me. Pissed me off.
What did you think about the fans of Philadelphia like this? They're pretty much smarter than the average.
I thought they were great.
Enjoyed working in front of them?
Yeah. Because they were ruthless, If you're good, that's all that counted. You didn't care about so much your costume or your body structure. If you were good, they liked you.
Now,
the shits they didn't.
Now, at that time, you were still doing tours with FMW. Did Paulie have any problems with you doing the FMW stuff?
Oh, yeah.
He did?
Yeah.
I mean, we know what happened with the New Japan where you did the show over them, but was he, from the beginning, was he trying to get you
No,
to
not in the beginning, towards the end there, because towards when we were doing the pay-per-views, started the pay-per-views, we were working with FMW and Michinoku and all that.
Right.
And I was the go-between with FMW, and that got all screwed up. Because Paulie wanted me to just stay in ECW, and FMW wanted me to just stay in FMW. New Japan wanted me to just be New Japan. I couldn't be just nothing.
Right.
I had to be everything.
Did anybody give you problems for that?
Oh, yeah.
So
I lost my relationship with FMW, and in return, I lost my relationship with ECW.
Right.
It all came together to where I fucked myself out of both.
I'm going to ask you about that. Also, the Ninth Line Across match was, a lot of people say that was the turning point for ECW. Did you believe that? That was like, that match put them on the map?
No, I didn't notice a turning point. I thought there was the turning. I don't notice. I just did my thing.
Right.
I didn't notice a turning thing. They did because they were looking at the numbers and seeing the people react. I'd wrestle in Philadelphia one day and go to Japan for 3 weeks, and come back to Philadelphia for one day and go back for 3 weeks. So ECW was like a small portion of my life. I didn't know what was going on. I didn't care. It was just another show, and what really mattered was Japan. But to me, everything matters. But everybody, to them, only their show matters. But ECW blew up, but FMW was already blown up. But to me, I was just doing my thing. I didn't notice good from better,
right?
Or better from good, or whatever. I just did it, And after the years look back, they go, "Wow, we're doing great." I go, I want more money then.
Now, when you were started at ECW, FMW was really good. Like I used to see they would draw 2,000, 3,000, even on the spot shows.
Right, even that,
what happened? Why did it fall?
Onita retired and came back.
Right.
That's what happened.
And that's.
You think it ruined the credibility?
Oh yeah. he came back and people were calling him Mr. Liar,
right?
Because he did it in every city in Japan. My last match here in Nagasaki, my last match in Tokyo, he did that for a whole year, and then comes back.
Right.
But now one more last match. You only have a last match. Your last match is your last match. You know?
Right.
As a Terry Funk, he lost credibility in Japan for a little while too, but now he has it back.
Right.
He got it back 10 years ago. But he retired when he was 38 or something, which he's going to come back. But he retired and then he came back.
Right.
He retired when I started in 1980. I don't know when it was.
Right.
But he retired back when I started, so he should have been retired my whole career. But good thing he wasn't.
As far as your wrestling style in the ring, how did you come up with some of the things you did? As far as like breaking tables and the.
I don't know how. It just happened. How I first broke a table was I wrestled these guys. Me and my uncle tagged in Japan. Boom. Then he said, "Get back in the ring and get your heat back." And I go, "How?" He goes, "Just think of something." I go, "Okay, I'll moonsault the table." He goes, "What's that?" I go, "Watch." And then I did it. Then it took off.
Who was that against? Lecter and Loser?
Yeah. How'd you know?
I just.
It was, yeah.
I remember watching that stuff too.
Because Paulie would show those videos on ECW TV 2 weeks before you came in. He showed the Lecter and Loser tape from FMW for
really?
like 2 or 3 weeks, building you up coming in.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So I think that's maybe they were showing it on TV, and then you did the table break with Taz. I think maybe that's why it got over.
Right.
Because people knew it was coming.
Right on.
You also worked a lot of shows around here with Al Snow at the time. What do you remember just working with Al?
Who?
Al Snow.
No, they were good. I liked working with him. He was the best guy in the area at the time. He still is the best guy in the area.
Right. Did he ever try bringing Al in early on into ECW at all, or?
Yeah, but Paulie said he was too plain, and what could I do?
Right.
Everybody thought I had a ton of power in ECW. I could if I wanted to be an asshole, but I didn't want anybody to get a break who didn't deserve it. No one said, "Okay, Sabu, let's give you a break before you deserve it." I wanted everybody to earn it, and if I could help, I would, but I wouldn't force it. I'd never force nobody down Paulie's throat.
Right.
Or I tried not to, anyway.
In Minnesota, you also had a great match with Sean Waltman, which is still talked about to this day. What are your memories of that match?
I liked it. Humperdinck was there.
Yeah.
People went crazy. And Bachminkle even congratulated me. That was back when everybody was criticizing me, and he was the first old-timer to actually come up and give me a congratulations.
What were the other old-timers saying to criticize you?
I'm killing the business. He's a cocksucker.
Do you think a lot of people maybe the old time veterans maybe talk to you on that way because did they have heat with your uncle or anything?
Yeah, a lot of them because they had heat with my uncle, probably. Mm-hmm. But then after the years, I made my own niche, and then all the old timers. Now when we talk, they think I'm an old timer.
What do you remember teaming up with your uncle in ECW?
In ECW?
Yeah,
the one did I?
Didn't he come in?
No, he came in with Pat Tanaka.
He came with
Taz, yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
Now you also had
I don't know why that happened. He teamed with Taz.
Yeah, that was great.
I heard your uncle drove, whoever drove him, some fan drove him to the hotel, and when he got out, he threw a fireball at him.
Oh yeah, in the car.
In the car, yeah.
Yeah, some guys from New York took him to the hotel.
Does he do that kind of stuff?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's awesome.
He's just around all day at the house catching stuff on fire.
Like I heard, I heard it's true. Like if somebody called his house and asked for him by name, like they would.
Like
he wouldn't. They go. He wouldn't. And then they go. You have to say.
My mother wouldn't even call him that. But if you were to call him by his real name, he wouldn't answer.
Really?
Well, because for one, his son has the same name as him. So if you ask for Edward or Ed, he don't think it's for him. If someone's asking for Ed, it must be for the son, not for him.
Right. Why do you think that he wrestled?
Give me a beer.
Why do you think he wrestled so up to his age, like until like he was in his late 60s or 70s?
For one, he lost his money twice. You know, he lost his money, got it back, and lost it again. And so he had to do it to stay alive, to eat. And also, it's hard to quit. I don't know why. That's why right now I'm still sick from my sickness. When I get over it, if I'm not 100%, I'm not going to come back. I'll just retire. And not only retire forever, retire until I'm able to come back 100%.
Right.
And if I'm never to come back 100%, then I'll just retire forever. But I don't expect anything to be forever, so I'm afraid to retire. My uncle never retired. When he retired, he did. That was in
94.
No.
Or
97, I think, in Japan.
Right. When he came out and as your second.
Well, I was still his second. I'm always his second, even to this day. But yeah, they gave him like a trophy belt.
Right.
And
I think that's Tokyo Pro, was it?
No, it was FMW.
FMW.
Yeah,
came
FMW.
back one more time.
And Onita and us, we didn't even work for FMW, but they did it, and they brung in Onita, and Onita gave him that belt, the sweet looking belt.
So they were probably FMW. Were they were paying good at that time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not like New Japan. No, they had something what was better than money, uniqueness.
Right.
Sometimes that means more than money.
Like FNW is
I do
the
a
new
lot
hot
of
thing.
little shitty shows and for work for little shitty people. Sometimes because they have balls, not because they have money or a great production or even a good show. Sometimes I do it just because I like certain things about certain people and small things that other people overlook. And if somebody has some kind of uniqueness to them, I'd like to work with them.
Now, as far as teaming with
Like
Taz,
ICP, everybody say they suck, but they're unique, and maybe they do suck. I don't know music. I like their music, some of it,
Right.
but they're unique in their way,
did you like teaming up with Taz?
Back that light, no.
You didn't like teaming up with
I didn't want to team with anybody.
You
I was starting to take off. I didn't want no one to drag me down or jump on with me without paying the dues I did. Now he paid his own dues. I'm not saying anything with that, but we didn't pay him together. So why do I owe anybody? Hey, come on with me. I don't even know you.
Did you ever express that to the office? Like,
yeah, and to Taz, but now I would. But he understood later on. I don't think at the time.
Right. What did Paul say when you told him?
He said he understood. He goes, you don't want no one biting off your tip, but we got to make more stars. Fuck him.
As far as Johnny Grunge and Ted Petty, when you started working a program with those guys as Public Enemy, were you for or against that? And
What's that again?
Were you into those matches working with Public Enemy?
Not really.
Was there any heat between you and Ted Petty with the tables and stuff like that? Because I remember you guys were. Yeah. Want to talk about that at all?
No. Yeah. It was no big deal. Now it's no big deal because everybody does it. But at the time, when I'd go to Japan and Paulie would have them guys break a table. I go, you take the table away, they're nothing. He goes, no, they're only doing it on big shows and certain stuff like that. Then I go, eventually they're not going to be able to go to the ring without using a table. Then they end up carrying a table to the ring. So that really pissed me off. It went from using the table behind my back to actually carrying it in front of me.
Do you think Paulie was...
And saying, this is our gimmick, Sabu. Is there enough tables for it? Johnny Grunge is a great guy. He'd come up to me and goes, how many tables you breaking tonight? I said, what's the fucking matter to you? But he goes, well, we're going to break a table. I said, no, you're not. And he goes, yeah, Paulie said we could. And then they go, okay, Paulie said we can't. And they'd go do it.
Do you think Paulie was...
Go with the accident.
You think he was edging him on a little bit? Maybe so you don't go to Japan and stay there more? Or?
No, I don't think he was doing it for that. He was doing it to build other stars.
Right.
It kind of sucked because when I came to ECW, we'd sell out. The day I wasn't there, they'd go way down. And when I come back, it'd just sell out again. So he was trying to help keep it at selling out every time ECW ran a show, which is impossible to do. But at the time, it was possible to do without Sabu. I'm not saying not trying to pat myself on the back. It's a fact. We only did good when I was there in the beginning.
Right.
So he's trying to build other stars, and what got over the most, it wasn't the table. It was me and the table and the timing. You know what I mean? So Paulie took the table and gave it and the timing to Public Enemy, and it worked.
Right.
It worked for me, but it worked.
Cactus Jack was one of the big dream matches of ECW. Was everybody was talking about it. What are your memories of your series with Cactus?
I thought it was cool. I don't remember a lot of shit. I had so many matches. It's hard to remember one match.
Right.
Well, unless I'm watching a tape of it, then I can tell you what I'm thinking.
The very first match you guys had, he said he didn't like the first match. Do you agree? I'm cool.
No, you're not.
I'm trying to be cool. But as far as the first match you ever worked with Cactus, what are your
He
memories?
don't smoke. He's a fag. What?
What are your memories of your first match with Cactus?
It wasn't as good as everybody as expected it, and we thought it was going to be. Everybody wanted us to kill each other,
right?
And you can't do that,
Who came up with the finish for that match?
I don't remember. What was it? Who won?
It was
I forget.
Did I win?
I forget. What do you
win?
Cactus on the new ECW DVD? They had the new ECW WF DVD. He said that the match was there was too much height.
Yeah.
For the thing, do you agree with that?
To live up to, yeah.
Right. That's what he thought the problem was.
I remember you guys had a rematch.
Plus, I was always hurt. Every time I came to ECW, I was coming off a 3-week tour of Japan. I was always fucking hurt or tired.
Right.
Always. Every fucking time. I always try. I'm not saying nothing with that, but I was always fucking hurt and tired.
Real.
As far as Cactus, also, I think it was the second time you guys had a match in Hamburg with the beer bottle.
In Hamburg? And the beer bottle would have...
Yeah. I put dents in his fucking head.
Yeah.
Because I didn't hit him 100%. I was hitting him kind of like 3/4, which means the bottle won't break. You got to hit him 100% to break it. But I didn't really want to break it. I figured after hitting him hard a couple of times, he'll say, "Forget it." He didn't say anything.
Also, Paul brought in Chris Benoit to ECW. What are your initial memories of working?
He didn't bring him in. I did.
How did that come about?
Because Chris was looking for more work, and I hooked it up because I wanted to wrestle Chris.
Right. What are your memories of the match with Chris?
I broke my fucking neck. What do you mean?
What do you remember?
Fuck. I remember it.
Actually,
hurt.
the hospital.
We drove down to the hospital.
Did you go to the hospital?
Yeah, we were there, and nobody knew your name. So we were, but one thing though, when we were there, the nurse was saying they were doing the. This is going back to your childhood. I don't know if you want to talk about it. When they were there, they were going over your X-rays and everything, and they said that you had a bullet in your throat.
Oh, it's in my face.
It's in your face. What happened with that?
What are you, crazy? It's not in my throat.
Oh.
I got shot. That's when I said after high school I got hurt. I got
Right.
shot, actually. I didn't really get hurt, but I got shot.
Right.
I took like a year off.
How'd you get shot?
Like this.
I wasn't supposed to say nothing. That was good.
Well, you're still saying nothing. But anyways, I was at a party, and boom, boom, boom. This guy, I thought I seen him shoot my friend a bunch of times in the stomach. He had two guns. One was a real gun, one was a fake gun. But he actually shot a guy behind him, another friend of mine, in the hip once. But when he shot the gun, hit the blank gun, boom, 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 5 times, and once with this one, boom, and got the guy. And he took off running. I ran him down and threw him down. And when I threw him down, he shot me. Knocked my fucking shit out.
Wow. Oof. That's crazy.
Your bullet's still there?
Yeah, it's shattered.
Shattered?
So I got shrapnel in my face.
Oh.
When that accident happened with you and Chris, how did that affect you?
Accident. It was on purpose. No, it was an accident. How did it happen? I don't know how it happened.
Did you hold him responsible, or is
No,
part of the business?
No, it's part of the business.
Okay.
Fuck no. Yeah, he went to the hospital with me too.
Right, I remember. We drove him, I think.
There is no. You can't put no blame on nothing unless it's really blatant. And even if it was blatant, I survived it. So haha. You know.
Did Paul pay your bills when you were out?
What? Yeah.
Were you pressured at all from Paul to get back in the ring sooner than you expected, or
No, I pressured myself
how long were you told to stay out for?
for years.
How long did you stay out for?
2 weeks.
Wow.
And then I went to ECW. Actually, exactly 14 days later, wrestled in ECW, and the next day went to Japan for 3 weeks, and then switched companies and went to New Japan for another week.
How was it working on your injury? I mean, how did
It
you
was
go?
terrible. I wrestled with a neck brace, but when I did the thing for New Japan, I took neck braces off. But the whole tour of FMW, I wrestled with a neck brace that was like 20-something matches.
None of the promoters said, "Oh, you're back too early," or they didn't care.
Yeah, no. They said wait, and I said no. And then they go, well, if you can't do it tonight, you can't do it tomorrow. So I did. I'd go out and still do my shit. They figured I wasn't as hurt as bad as I let on, but I was.
Does that injury still bother you today, or
No.
Okay.
No.
As far as going to, you said you switched companies from FMW to New Japan. How'd that come about?
They pressured me for about 3 months to give me a lot more money and all this shit to come over. And I said, no. And I wanted to tell Onita, I want to have a meeting with him, and he wouldn't give me a meeting. And then one day, him and my uncle had a meeting, and him and my uncle had a meeting about me. And then at the same time, I had a meeting that day with New Japan in the morning, and they offered me a good deal to start right after the tour. And they go, okay, we're going to do, Sheik and Onita goes, we're going to do this for you and that for you. I said, nope, I'm going to New Japan. And Sheik was mad for a minute, but then he got over it, you know.
You worked with Tani, I think, right? When you first came into New Japan a little bit?
Tani,
Well,
Kanemoto.
me and
Chono.
Yeah, me and Chono against Fujinami and Hirata in Tokyo Dome. That was actually my biggest match. And it was the main event, I think.
How was that for you?
That was awesome.
How would you compare the two companies, New Japan and FMW?
New Japan really put you on nice airplanes and first class all the way, and FMW is more pay your dues, even though you already paid your dues. But I like them both. I wouldn't like FMW's right now to go there and pay my dues because I'm tired now.
Right.
But in the beginning, it's great for someone to learn the business. You don't want to get pampered too early.
Would you kind of compare it to kind of FMW's ECW and New Japan's WWF? Kind of?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
What
I prefer FMW more than ECW more than WWF.
Right.
Did any matches stick out in your mind, like Otani, Kanemoto, Liger, any of those guys?
Not especially. You know, I think I had a good match once.
There was one match I think you wrestled Eddie Guerrero. The fan grabbed your turban, you went in the crowd, beat him up. Did you find the crowds like easier to do stuff like that? Like you know, like an FMW, like with the brawls and everything. You know, you can go. They part out of the way.
Yeah, it's good.
Is it more believable?
It's good to beat up a fan. Now, not now. It's not really good to beat up a fan. It's good to appear to beat up a fan
Right.
because it makes it look more serious. Especially when stuff is spilling outside the ring. Why are we only punching each other when there's people around us laughing at us, throwing shit at us? Why don't we turn around and hit them? Other than we're crazy, but we know we don't want no lawsuit. Then you're not really crazy if you care about a lawsuit.
Right.
In Japan, you don't care about a lawsuit.
Like I know, like the Sheik would do it in FMW, and then
not saying it's good to be
Lecter
a
would
fan,
do it
but-
with chasing the crowd. Was there ever any instances where like fans really got really hurt?
Yeah, all the time.
Was there any lawsuits ever come out of it?
I heard like the Yakuza covered it up.
Yeah,
kinda.
oh yeah. One
That's right.
time, me and Tiger got in it, and the Yakuza, Onita had to settle with the Yakuza. They wouldn't let us leave our hotel. It was fucking scary, but it sucked because no, I better not say it. But anyways, you sure that ain't on?
No, it's not on.
All right.
I don't think so.
Well, Tiger, forget it.
Well, what's the relation? Is Tiger and the Sheik? Did they ever have heat or?
No.
I heard like Tiger is pretty like tough guy. A lot of people don't
Tiger
like.
DC?
Yeah, a lot of people don't like him in the business. Is that
Yeah,
true?
hardly anybody likes him. I do. He's all right.
Right.
You sure that ain't on?
It's not on.
Eddie Guerrero, what was he like? You first met Eddie?
Oh, he's cool.
Did he?
Real laid back.
I have also one thing.
Good.
Since you were like the innovative high flyer, like the top name in the United States at that time, how come you never worked Mexico? Like,
I didn't have time.
right.
Now I got time, but I
Right.
don't have the body now.
Right.
What were the circumstances when you missed a three-way dance? Paulie gave his version that you promised to be there.
Oh, yeah, I did. But like I said, I was in Japan for 3 weeks. I'd come to ECW for 1 day. What job would you be scared to lose? The 3-week job, not the 1-day job. Okay? I double booked myself. I fucked up. Then I thought I could do both in the same day. It was 15th, April 8th in Japan. And if I flew home, it would be April 8th in the United States, 12 hours later. It'd still be the same day.
Right.
So I figured I could wrestle in Japan, catch a plane, and fly back to Philadelphia and make it. He said, you can't do it. I said, I'm going to try, And I'm going to take the first, since Japan is April 8th before the United States April 8th.
Right.
If the Philadelphia April 8th came before Japan's April 8th, I would have did the Philadelphia show. Whatever one came first, I did.
Right.
Then I was going to, take whatever, try my hardest to make the second one. So I went to Japan and did it, and then I couldn't get a flight out to do it, and they said, you're crazy and all that stuff to even think of that. But I didn't know it, but I didn't care that much either. That was one show versus, thousands living.
Right,
I was making a living in ECW 1 day a month. What the fuck is that? I'm not saying that it's bad. I'm just saying you can't expect me to give you my life for 1 day a month. I give you my 1 day a month, and the rest of the month's got to support my family.
Did Paul understand that or no?
No, fuck no. That's why he went crazy in the ring and motherfuckered me.
I was going to ask you, what are your thoughts on when he went in public with it?
I was pissed off, super pissed off at first. Now I'm flattered that he gave a fuck that much. I guess you got to have that kind of passion to make it. But he should have understood. I was making $1,000 for his show and $6,000 for the New Japan show. Which one would anybody choose? Knowing that after I do the show, I'll come back next month and make up for it. Wrestle twice as hard.
Right. Were you pissed off that he got the fans to turn on you and stuff like that too?
Yeah, at the time. Now I'm flattered that they actually followed what he did. Not even flattered. I'm impressed that he got those people to turn on me. Those people loved me more than they loved him, but he got them to turn on me to hate me.
Right. How soon before you and Paul started talking again? I mean, did you guys really totally stop talking?
About 3 days after that happened. I'm serious. He said, come on back. Then he'd go back to the boy. Fuck him. Never want to see him again. Come on, Sabu, you want to come back? And I go, yeah, I do.
Now, did you and Taz ever talk about it? Was Taz pissed off? Did you get heat from Taz?
Yeah. But I called Taz, Benoit, and Malenko. And I said, I'm going to go to Japan. You're going to be mad. Fuck no. Do what you got to do. I wouldn't lose Japan over ECW. Fuck, this is a spot show. Take Japan. All three of them said that.
Right.
And then the second I went, fuck him. I can't believe he did that to us. Because like I said, everybody who has one show knows that to them that one show is the most important thing in the world. Well, I had 3 weeks of shows in Japan. Those 3 weeks in Japan are the most important things in the world to those guys and to me.
Right.
The ECW shows 1 day a month. Even like Dennis Corluzzi didn't understand that. He goes, man, why are you so tired coming to my show? You should be all ready and pumped up. I said, brother, I just came from Japan. This is another day.
Right.
I'm not saying I'm going to not try hard.
Right.
I'm just saying it's another day.
Memories of your first match with Abby in Big Japan.
What about it?
What are your memories of the match working with Abdul Butcher? Was that a big deal for you?
Tokyo Pro.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
See, actually, at the time I was mad. I didn't want to do it. I'm ashamed of it now, but I was supposed to go to Tokyo Pro, but when I made my deal with Tokyo Pro, I said I never want to wrestle Abdul the Butcher. Nothing personal. I didn't want that kind of match yet, and I wanted to build up to this big match that I looked forward to all my life. Sabu versus, or me, not even Sabu, me versus Abdul the Butcher. It's like a monster movie to me, or a nightmare to me.
Right.
You know what I mean? I didn't want it to just be thrown in out of nowhere. Okay, I was supposed to wrestle somebody else, and he's supposed to wrestle somebody else, but their Pogo's canceled, so they made me wrestle him. And so I canceled it, and my uncle made me go, because Butcher talked to him, and talked Sheik into making me go. So I went and I was pissed. So I didn't really like the match, but I tried hard. I just didn't like it. I would have tried even. I would have did better if I wanted to do it.
Why did it
But
go
it
to?
ain't gonna affect my effort if I don't want to.
Why did it go to like a double count out? How come there's no?
Because they thought I didn't want to wrestle because I didn't want to get beat. It had nothing to do with that.
Right.
I didn't want to wrestle because I didn't want to throw that match away.
Right.
You're supposed to build up before a big match, not just throw it in because it's a cancellation. You know what I mean?
Right.
Not if it's supposed to be a big match.
Where's Rob Van Dam
And
at?
we could have made a 2-year run out of that fucking thing, huh?
Where's Rob Van Dam at this level at this point in time?
Right now?
No, not right now.
At that point?
At that point.
I don't know. I don't remember. I think you ECW, wasn't he?
No,
Not yet.
even,
Not yet. He was
even
probably
yet.
still
No.
WCW.
He wasn't there yet?
No,
Yeah, he was probably
he was in
WCW.
WCW.
Oh,
Maybe
so
All
I don't know. I
Japan.
don't remember. Who?
How did you wind up in WCW? Because I know you didn't go back to ECW yet. You wound up in ECW. How did that come about?
Because that Monday Nitro thing. Bischoff asked me how much would it cost. Actually, not Bischoff. Kevin Sullivan, how much would it cost? He was speaking for Bischoff. How much would it cost for me to do the first Nitro? That's why I'm going to be in Japan. He goes, how much will it cost to do a second Nitro? Because they wanted me to do the first Nitro with Brian Pillman. But they ended up bringing, or with Liger. One of the other.
They brought Liger.
Yeah, they brought
Liger.
Liger. I think Liger was supposed to come in anyways. But they wanted that good match. Maybe I wasn't supposed to wrestle those guys. They wanted me on that show anyways. They said, how much for the second Nitro? And I said, nothing, just put me over. And they go, we got to give you something. So I said, $500. And he goes, okay. So boom, I wrestled. They go, okay, we want to use you. I didn't do as good as I wanted to do or make it the impact I wanted to make. I wasn't allowed to, and they didn't expect that of me, but I expected it for myself, but I didn't do it. Anyways, so they go, okay, we're signing you to a deal, boom, boom, boom. I go, okay, we'll work out the money later. So they assume I wanted $500 for every match. I did a pay-per-view, all kinds of shit, right? A couple pay-per-views, and they sent me a check for $500. I go, wait a minute, that was just for you to look at me, and then we work out a deal, not $500 for every match. So Paulie goes, how much will it cost for you to double cross him? And I said $3,000. so he gave me $3,000. So I did the Dennis Corluzzo show in the early,
Right.
and then that night I did the Philadelphia show. Everybody goes, "What are you doing here?" I'm just here to watch the show. And then at the right time I ran out, and boom.
Right.
And then Bischoff finally called me. Then he goes, "What are you doing?" And I go, "I just needed the money." He goes, "So you didn't quit?" I go, "No, I didn't quit because I didn't quit. I was going to do that and go back to WCW." All he said is, "How much is to fuck him? Not to fuck him over, just to fuck him."
Right.
And so. I go, okay, I'm sorry. And then he goes, okay, I'll try to smooth this over. Hangs up, and then the next day I heard on the internet, on the hotline that I was fired. That's the only time I ever heard from him.
What were your thoughts on Bischoff?
He's all right. I don't know him that good.
What happened with, I think you wrestled Jerry Lynn, was it Cobo Hall, and Cheek was throwing the fire and everything? That wasn't planned. Did he get heat for that? Or?
Yeah, there's in between me and my uncle, they're going to lose their jobs. A couple guys said that. Because they're supposed to control us. And I'm easy to control, sort of.
Right.
Sheik's very difficult to control. He's so old time, He'll say, okay, don't do something, but he thinks that it'll get over and it's right. And after he does it in the olden days or the early days, if you rebelled and it worked, you were king. But if you rebelled and it didn't work, then you're the shits. So he said, okay, I'm gonna find out if I'm king. But they didn't look at it like that. They said, fuck it, we don't want you guys.
When you were in WCW,
Not didn't want us guys, didn't want him, and they're so hard for me to do my shit. I didn't ask, I did it, and each night they go, you can't do this. So the next night I try something else, you can't do this. Instead of me asking, can I do it?
Yeah,
the answer's no.
That was a question. Did they WCW? Did they put control on you?
Yeah, big time.
And you didn't like that?
No.
was there ever a stigma on you when you were in WCW as the ECW guy?
No, I don't think so. But the thing is, after I left WCW, they let Public Enemy do what they want, and they killed it.
Right.
It was terrible.
It was.
When I wanted to do it, when it was unique and original and still good, they said no, it's too dangerous or it's too far from wrestling. Now then they let Public Enemy do it with pre-fucking cut tables and horrible fucking spots to the table. I love those guys, but I don't like what they did.
Did it bother you watching a lot of other guys start doing your style? I mean,
I did at first.
It was on videotapes all over.
Until I seen Vince McMahon carry a table to the ring, and then after that, it didn't bother me. I swear to God, it didn't.
Wow.
I said, wow, this guy criticized me from day one. Now he's actually doing my gimmick. Not my gimmick, but carrying the table to the ring.
Right.
Carrying the table like a retard to try to steal my gimmick. Everybody thinks I carry the table. I don't carry a fucking table. I never carried a table in my life. Carried a few feet, but not from the dressing room.
Right. Alex Wright, you worked with him as well over in WCW. What do you remember of those matches?
That was just WCW.
Right,
yeah.
WCW. Good stuff, or?
Yeah, it was all right, except for he didn't want to wrestle me. He was scared of me, and there was no reason to be. He just thought my shit was too dangerous.
I was going to ask you, you talked about a little bit about being a TV wrestler. Was it hard to conform to being just a TV wrestler in WCW?
Yeah, oh yeah, big time. That was when this started turning into TV wrestlers.
Right.
I mean, besides Hulk Hogan, me and Guerrero and those guys and Benoit, when we were coming in, it was hard for guys like us, what worked hard, to tone it down to a 7-minute match and do everything choreographed.
Some of the guys, the upper guys, would tell you to tone it down. And stuff
Oh,
like that.
big time. And those guys too, but those guys listened. I didn't.
Right. Now, when you went back to work for Paul, did your relationship change
I
at
should have
all?
listened. What?
When you went back to work for Paul, how did your relationship change?
No, it was fine.
It was totally fine.
Yeah, yeah.
So it was pretty much big work, and you guys.
No, it wasn't a work.
No, I mean it wasn't a work, but when
Not at all. But the comeback was a work because I wanted to come back sooner, but I was stuck in WCW, and I just wanted a reason to quit, without getting heat, it was impossible to do that.
when you heard it on the hotline, did you go, "Oh shit, I'm fired," or did you say, "Good, I'm fired"?
That's just so good. I made it easy.
All right, going back, like a lot of my friends, like they're not really wrestling fans, but they will watch ECW with the tables, and they're like, "Holy shit, like that's real right there." Do you ever have sustain any injuries from doing the tables?
I never got hurt once.
Or was there ever a table you couldn't break?
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, I think there was one in Japan the one time, like a couple times.
Almost everyone in WCW I couldn't break.
Right.
Every time it came to the show, I had to find my own table, and there's never a correct table.
Like when you would ask
Never.
for, do you think any?
Public Enemy, they give them fucking tables. Piss me off.
Do you think like some promoters like fucked with you a little bit, giving you like
Yeah.
hard tables?
Yeah. A couple guys did it on purpose, and they laugh at me. But I still go, I'll still break it and not do it. I hit it through, like, one time in California, I did it like fucking, I think 10 times, and it wouldn't break. I kept trying, even just jumping out with my ass, and it wouldn't break.
Was that the one with Terry Funk in
that-
the parking lot? No.
That's the one where Spike Dudley had his debut.
Oh, it was Ron Head's show?
Yeah,
Ron
Ron
Head,
Head,
J.R.
Ron
Benson?
Head, yeah.
And J.R. Benson?
Yeah, and J.R. Benson.
Yeah, yeah.
I hit him with a chair. He goes, "You didn't even say you're sorry." I see the videotape.
Oh, yeah, you're-
I didn't know I was supposed to say I'm sorry. You're supposed to block the motherfucker. He split his head open and took him to the hospital,
Yep.
and it was sewing up his head.
I remember
He
that.
didn't even say he's sorry.
When you came back to ECW, how did the boys react?
They thought I did it on purpose. I'm
Right.
just swinging a chair. You got to take care of yourself.
How did the boys react to you when you came back to ECW? Did they treat you the same?
Where you been, brother? I heard when I was out there saying, "Fuck him, we don't need him," and they'd do the "fuck Sabu" chant. And when I came back, "Hey, I'm glad you're back. Let me pull this knife out."
What about Taz? What was his relationship with you when you came back?
Oh, we were cool. We're always like brothers, sort of, because we needle each other. The early days I didn't understand, but after that, I understood him, and he's cool. I like him now. He's cool as shit.
Did ECW change at all when you came back to the company?
Yeah, Paulie tried to focus more on mainstream, like Nitro, production-wise. I hated that. Hardcore wrestling don't mean you have fireworks and fancy lighting. It means you don't have that shit. You focus on the wrestling. We don't care what if you can see it or not. There's still a hell of a match going on. But it just so happens the lights work. Not fancy lights. You know what I mean? He wanted the lights, not necessarily the lights, but you know what I mean?
Right, totally.
He wanted each light, every time you come up with a new prop to put out there, he wanted another one to be better. Sometimes it's enough. If you watch the real old Eastern Championship Wrestling, that is hardcore. It's shitty production, shitty fucking atmosphere, or not even shitty atmosphere, shitty production, shitty cameras, shitty fucking guys working the cameras, but the wrestling was good for the time. It was the best independent around.
Without a doubt.
Same with, Joe Goodhart show. That was the best independent show in the world. Fucking Cactus Jack and Eddie Gilbert and the Sheik and Abdul the Butcher, Terry Funk and whoever the fuck else.
Sullivan, yeah.
Lex Luger wasn't there, wasn't he?
Nah.
Okay, well, fuck him anyway. I didn't want him there, but I mean that was the best independent show in the world,
Right.
because he had all those NWA guys, all the independent guys, all the hardcore guys. That was cool as shit.
He was like the first guy to actually do what the
fancy
fans
shit.
wanted.
Right, exactly. Yeah, the fans dictated it.
Now you're very well known for crazy gluing some of your wounds early on. I mean, everybody talks about it to this day. How did you come up with crazy gluing your wounds?
I can't even remember, but I think I read it or I seen it on MacGyver. I'm serious. I can't remember if I seen it on MacGyver or I read it, but I'm pretty sure I read it because it said World War II or World War I. They used them out in the field to stop the bleeding to get them back to a mass unit. You know what I mean? Then they suture them up and then take them to a real hospital and then fix them up. But the first step into that was to stop the bleeding was with the crazy glue.
Right.
They stop it like instantly.
And now most emergency
So I
rooms
tried
use
it. It
They
didn't
use
work
it
very
now.
good.
They use it. My
Yeah,
friend's
it's
a
called
nurse. They use it now. Right, yeah, they use
I
it.
wanted to call it Sag Blue. Sag Blue or something.
Speaking of your injuries, what happened with you, I think, in Japan where you
got hurt.
broke both your hands and everything? Was that one of your worst injuries?
Yeah, but I didn't do them at the same time. I did one the first day of the tour, then 3 weeks later I did the other one.
Wow.
The last day of the tour. And that fucked me up. I had to wrestle the day before I came, right after I did it, 55,000 people in Kawasaki Stadium, and I had fucking 2 broken hands.
Right.
It's terrible.
That was that tag match, right?
Yeah, you got a light.
What was your
And that's
relationship
cool.
with Pee Wee?
He's my girlfriend.
He was pretty much your helper and stuff like that. He took care of you and stuff like that on the road.
Yeah, well, I was like how I helped my uncles. You first start out by carrying a suitcase.
Right.
Same with him.
Right. When Too Cold Scorpio came into the company, what was your reaction? I mean, were you happy to see him come in?
I said, "Fuck him." No, yeah, he was good. He's probably the best wrestler I ever wrestled.
Why is that?
I don't know. It's just better than
You
everybody
guys
else.
just gelled?
Not even gelled with me. He gelled with everybody. He's the best wrestler I think I ever met.
Oh, wow.
You know, professional wrestler.
Right. You guys had a great match. I think it was up in Downingtown at the farmers market. It was the first time you guys met, and then
Yeah, we had a lot better ones after that. We got better each time.
Because the ropes broke on the one. Yeah.
And the week before, I think the ring broke in Michigan. It collapsed on one side.
oh, that's right. That's
Oh,
right.
yeah.
He got superplex on the top rope, and boom,
Yep.
boom. And the next week, the rope broke. It broke 2 rings. Yeah,
Right.
almost killed each other both times.
I think that was the night of the OJ chase. In
Yeah, it was.
downtown.
Yes,
It was.
yes, that's when the ropes broke. Yeah,
Right.
It was.
And the week before was when the whole ring broke.
Right. Yeah.
Now, as far as training Rob Van Dam, he came to the company around this time too. What do you? I guess what were you responsible for when it came to the training of Rob Van Dam?
No, just basic, the basics.
Right. I mean, did you see that he had it? Like when he first came into the business,
Yeah.
you knew he had it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if he had dedication. That I learned he had that later, but in the beginning, you don't know if anybody has a dedication in the beginning.
How did you see him develop as years went by?
I really didn't pay attention that much. Only when he was around me. Like I watched the development in ECW, and a little bit before that. But when he was in WCW or wherever he did, I couldn't see it. So I don't know.
Right. Now with Barely Legal, with ECW's big pay-per-view coming up, pretty much Paulie was banking on pay-per-view to change the company up.
What?
Paulie was basically banking on the very first pay-per-view to make it big. How much pressure were put on you to have a good match with Taz?
I don't know. I can't. Probably not that. I don't know. A lot of pressure, but it all feels the same. The pressure, I put pressure on myself. There was a lot. He didn't put that much pressure on us. He just do our thing.
Right. I mean, there was a big build-up for that match. It was a year in the making, pretty much, and you guys didn't touch each other for a year. You guys did a lot of pull-aparts. What are your memories of some of the stuff that he did with you guys?
All right. When I came back after WCW gimmick, that April 8th gimmick shit, where I didn't show up, Taz wanted to wrestle me. He said he thought that the fans thought he was hurt the most for not showing up. So Taz wanted to beat me up first. And I said, Paul, I'm not going to wrestle him, not because I'm scared, nothing like that. I just don't want to. I already did it. I want to move on. Paul goes, okay, you won't. So he chased me for that whole year. The whole time he was shooting, and I was ignoring him. He was calling me in the ring every night, and there's a Sabu chant, and I wouldn't respond. They go, he's calling you. I said, so what? You're not gonna go? I go, no, I'm not going to run out. I wasn't even paying attention. It didn't even faze me. And then finally, Paulie talked me into it'll be something good, and that. So from that until the paper, there was no pressure.
Oh, wow. So that was a total shoot.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
He was chasing me, and I was refusing to even respond to him. And he was hotter than fuck, which made his promos come out even better. It turned him into what he is now.
Right.
The way he talks, he's speaking from the heart. He's not acting.
That whole gimmick with him after he came back, after he broke his
Neck.
yeah, with Guerrero and Scorpio.
Yeah.
Did Paulie's relationship with the WWF
I paid those guys to do that. I still owe them.
Scorpio was telling us about that. They were hard on purpose. So
On Taz?
yeah,
They were? I didn't know that.
Scorpio told us that.
Oh, yeah.
He said they had heat with him or something like that.
Well, Taz had heat with everybody back then.
Right.
It was funny.
Now, did Paul's relationship with
See, when I started it, I had heat with everybody before it was cool. When Taz had heat with everybody, it was cool.
Right. Did Paul's relationship with WWF bother you at all?
No.
Okay. Because they did the angle with you on Monday Night Raw. What are your memories of that with Taz at Raw?
I don't know. That was a small thing.
We went up there to do the one thing and
Didn't just slip.
Oh, when I talked about the R
R
thing,
Yeah.
The R slipped out from under me. I don't remember nothing from it other than I hit the ground. It wasn't like that big of a deal. WWF, I'm not that impressed to go there.
Right.
It's just another place. Like if I was to do anything else, it would just be another place. The only difference between them and anywhere else is that they pay better, but I don't think for me they wouldn't pay better. But anyways, I'm not. Everybody goes, "Woo, WWF, let's go do it." I'm saying, okay, if it means good for us, if it means good for ECW, do it. If it's not good for ECW, fuck them.
Right.
You know.
Were you well received by the WWF crew?
Yeah.
Memories
I knew most of those guys anyways. They were cool. To
Right.
my face, I'm sure behind my back they motherfuckered me.
You had a great match with Terry Funk, the barbed wire match, Born to Be Wired. Everybody talks about that to this day. What are your memories of that match?
I don't know. It was a good. It wasn't that good. It hurt. It wasn't that good though. I don't know.
It was just the most brutalest
It
match.
was supposed to be better, but I got hurt early in it. So
What happened?
I cut my arm. But,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I got 150 stitches in the dressing room. It sucked. By a foot doctor.
Huh.
Sewing up the wrong parts through my arm. He goes, I saved lives. I go, you're a foot doctor. He goes, yeah, I know.
I was holding the light. It was all dark.
Were you there?
Yeah, I had the light. And Fonzie started like rubbing all, like he was doing the glue, but everywhere. Your whole back. I'm sitting there like, what the hell? And I'm like, oh, I go, this couldn't be. And I was like, 'cause I heard about it, I never saw it. He's like super gluing your whole arm, like he's rubbing it on like a suntan.
We were
oil.
trying to, this part of it, it wouldn't work.
Right.
It wasn't working.
How'd you deal with a lot of the injuries early on in your career, as far as like the
How'd I
sick
do
bump?
what?
How'd you deal with taking all the injuries?
No, it didn't bother me at all. I could do anything and get up if I wanted to.
Now you also did a WF thing with I guess the Hardy Boys. You did a role appearance. What are your memories of that?
The Hardy Boys?
Yeah, you guys.
I did.
They did a run-in or something like that during one of the matches.
I didn't.
It wasn't.
With the Hardy Boys?
Yeah, I thought you did something.
Oh, was that when,
No, we did a run-in on Taz and Mikey Ripwreck. Who's we?
on that? No, that was the thing in Hershey. Is that what you were talking
Yeah,
about?
Yeah, for the pay-per-view.
It was, remember Sandman and Dreamer did the thing on the pay-per-view with Savia Vega, and then was it the next night? Were you involved with that with Taz and the Eliminators in Hershey Park Arena?
Yeah, I think so, but I don't remember the Hardy Boys.
Okay.
I don't know
I
if
could
it
be
was
wrong.
I don't know who it was.
I could be wrong. Now, also, you and Rob, were you guys supposed to wrestle Dreamer and Sandman on a SummerSlam at all? Was that part of the deal with Vince?
I don't know. I never got too involved in that stuff. To me, that was gossip until we were there.
Okay. Also, we talked a little bit about it. Just eating. You it was in Boston when you broke your jaw. What are your memories of that night?
I broke my jaw. I mean, what do you mean?
As far as like what happened in that match, what exactly happened to you?
I was in the process of hitting Sandman with a triple jump moonsault, and when I went chair top rope, Van Dam threw a table in the ring, and the legs were sticking up. And then while I was in the air, I hit the table. The legs fucked me out. Hit me like right under here.
Huh.
Broke my jaw.
How long were you out for? You weren't even out. You just taped out.
Yeah, I just went out of the ring for maybe 3 minutes.
Did you like working Sandman at all?
Yeah, yeah.
Did you find it hard to work with him because of his condition sometimes?
No, at first, yeah, but then after a while, you see that he's better that way. If he's sober, you got something to worry about.
Right. I know Cactus
No
Jack.
offense.
Cactus Jack made it pretty clear in his interviews that he's done that basically he didn't like working him because of his problems.
Right, that was before. That's when Sandman was hiding being a drunk.
Right.
You know, it was only supposed to be at work, but it was a shoot. But that was only because he was hitting. He'd tell Sandman not to do something, and he'd do it anyways, over and over.
When Rob Van Dam
I
came
guess
in,
I don't know.
they teamed you guys up pretty much. Were you for or against that?
I was for it.
Did you like working with them and stuff
Yeah.
like that? You had some great matches with Eliminators, Perry and Cronus. What are your memories of those series of matches?
It was all right.
Did any of those matches ever turn into shoots or anything like that? Because Perry was pretty
A
stiff.
couple times, but nothing really to brag about.
It was all professional.
Most of it.
Okay.
There's twice we got out of hand twice.
When's that?
I can't remember exactly when. I just remember once with Cronus, once with Perry.
They also
Both
threw
of
in.
us with each.
They also threw in, I guess, New Jack and Mustafa into that mix at one time. I think it was November. Remember?
Yeah, it was a three-way, right?
Yeah, in Philadelphia. Anything stick out from that match, or?
Did you like working New Jack or?
Yeah. Yeah. I like working everybody.
Now, what are your thoughts on the whole Mole situation when Todd Gordon was supposedly taking a lot of guys over to WCW?
What?
When Todd was supposedly taking over a lot of guys? to
Yeah, but
WCW?
that wasn't true.
It was just a
I
big
don't
work.
think it was, yeah.
Todd claims that it was just an idea that Paulie had to get him to turn heel, and then he screwed him. He backstabbed him. So
To get him out of the
I believe
company.
that. I believe
Yeah,
that.
to get him out of the company.
Yeah.
Was there a lot of heat on Perry Saturn for the way he got hurt and injured and then wouldn't wrestle and then went right to WCW?
No, I didn't even think about it. If there was, I didn't know about it.
what about your match with the Sandman? Going back to the Sandman, it was November to Remember in Pittsburgh. I think it was the ladder match, right?
It was the tables and ladders match. It was the pay-per-view match where like all the tables broke at the wrong time, kind of.
But I'll narrow it down. Well, what about it?
I don't know, just your any memories
Any
or
memories of that match? Okay. Now
Yeah, but I did forget.
you and Rob also had a program with Candido and Lance. What are your memories of those matches with those guys?
That was, I don't know. Tammy kept interfering.
Huh.
I mean, like, leave Chris alone. I mean, I don't remember that match that too much either. Those were good old days.
Going back to
You can't remember them. They must have been pretty good.
the Funk barbed wire match in ECW, since with FMW that was like one of your big things in your career and everything. How come Paulie or you there wasn't more barbed wire matches in ECW? Did you want to keep it special?
Oh, because I didn't want to do it. Yeah, I didn't want to do it. I had guys all the time offer the barbed wire match. I go, I want 20,000 for it. They go, okay, we'll give you 20. Okay, I want 25,000. Whatever they can't make is what the price is. Because I didn't want to do it.
Right.
And so I did the only outside of Japan. I've only done one in ECW in Puerto Rico, and only 2 outside of Japan.
Right.
I don't care if people are going to kill it. I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna kill it for myself. The day I want to do a barbed wire match, it'll mean something. They don't want to say, "Oh, another barbed wire match."
What do you think about companies like CZW and IW Mid-South who do that kind of stuff every night? Do you think they kill it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But no comment.
Now
No.
Rob Van Dam, eventually you guys had a great program. You guys had a great match. I believe it was WrestlePalooza. It was a 30-minute draw. Did you like working Rob at this point in time?
Yeah, but I was sick during that match. Yeah, I threw up a couple times.
Right. What happened there?
I was sick all night. I don't know why. And I took a couple pain pills, and I drank a Mellow Yellow, and smoked a joint, and then went to the ring. And about 2 minutes into it, I started throwing up. The first 10 minutes, I was sick. I threw up like 4 times, 2 or 3 on camera.
Right.
And then when I threw up, it came out green because I had a Mellow Yellow. I had nothing in my stomach. And then after the 10 minutes, I was fine. It was coasted. It was great. Not great, but good. Okay, passable. But the first 10 minutes was horrible. I felt horrible. I never watched the match, but I remember the match. I remember that. It was 30-minute Broadway, or decision.
Right.
Did you like working Van Dam better in singles, or did you like teaming up with him better? What did you think?
I like working them. Single matches.
You touched on it. Just
When you tag with somebody, you don't even know they exist really. Only when they run into you. You go, oh, I like what he did. He's not doing it to you. You don't know what he's doing. You're doing your thing. But when you wrestle him, you notice him more.
Right.
Like actually, your opponent, you know better than your
tag partner.
Yeah.
in and out of the ring.
I'm serious, goddamn.
All right, I will.
All right.
Tommy Dreamer in
I
and
don't know
out
how
of
to
the
answer
ring.
that. But what?
Your feelings on Tommy Dreamer in and out of the ring.
What's that again? Oh, in and out of the ring?
Yeah, as far as Tommy.
Good guy out of the ring, okay guy in the ring.
Did you get along with him?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he was cool.
How did you wind up back in All Japan?
That's when all those guys left All Japan, and Mrs. Baba asked me if I'd come help. I said, hell yeah.
What are your thoughts on Baba, Mrs. Baba?
She's okay now. I like her now. Back when they had the company, I didn't like her.
Right. What about Masawa?
I don't even know. I wrestled him a couple times, but I don't know.
How about guys like Kawada and Kabashi and Gary Albright? Same thing.
Gary Albright was a good friend. The other guys, who are they? No, I didn't know them. They're when you're American and they're Japanese, you never see those guys only in the ring.
Right. You were the first guy, really probably a foreigner in Japan, to actually switch companies and pretty much do almost all the companies. Do you feel that was a detriment to your career in Japan, or do you think it helped you?
I think it hurt it. If I would have stayed loyal to FMW, things would have been a lot better. Things would have been definitely a lot better.
What's your opinion about with
Yeah.
Hayabusa and his injury? And have you seen him?
It could happen to anybody. It don't scare me. It could happen to anybody. I feel sorry for him. What can you do though?
Do you still have contact with him when you're over
Yeah.
there?
Speaking of Hayabusa, you guys had a great match. It was you and Rob at Heatwave against Shinzaki and Hayabusa. What are your memories of that match?
I like that match actually. That was all right.
How come, since that match was the success of that match, how come Paulie at that time didn't bring those guys in more? I mean, Tanaka
Because I paid him. Paulie didn't pay him. That's why I didn't bring him back in.
Right.
Shit.
So you were the one who brokered the FMW deal, pretty much, bringing in all those guys and everything.
Yep. And when something didn't go through on one part, I took care of it. If one side didn't want to do what the other side said, I would lie to them and say, yeah, they said yes. Okay, they said no. And I'd work it so they didn't know the difference.
Right. Onita came in, I think, with Tanaka the first time. Onita did like an angle with Sandman and everything. How come that didn't go anywhere? Did Onita not like ECW? Or?
No, ECW didn't follow through on their stuff.
So it's pretty much all ECW's fault for not following through.
Pretty much, yeah.
Do you think if Paulie would have been a little bit more conscious of what you were doing in that company, there could have been a lot of better stuff would have happened? Definitely. Yeah. FMW was willing to pretty much be like almost full time with ECW, sending
Yeah.
guys over.
What went wrong with the November to Remember match? I guess
They
it
sent
was.
Tanaka over for a year. You know,
Right.
He was on the verge of being a star for him, and they sent him over here, and fuck, knocked his tooth out and all that shit. And I had to pay for it.
November to Remember was you and Rob against. Oh, actually, you, Rob, and Taz against a triple threat. What went wrong in that match?
What was it?
It was November to Remember. It was
Six man in New Orleans, in that real big, in the big
What went wrong with
lakefront.
the match? I don't know. It was just the shits.
Did you get?
What happened afterwards
Yeah.
in the locker room and everything? If there was like,
Paulie and Taz were trying to fight, and I was trying to break them up.
Mhm.
I was pulling Paulie off and Taz. I swear. I said, quit that. He's going to kill you. Fuck him.
and then
Taz wasn't kicking his ass. I don't know why he didn't.
and then the next week, I think it was in Freeport, New York. That's when were you there when Van Dam and Taz had the altercation?
Yeah, no comment.
Okay.
Yeah, I was there.
Did you get any heat at all from Paulie when Conan did an interview on the Torch and quoted you saying Paulie was a liar at all?
No, heck
Okay.
no.
Okay.
If you don't lie, then if it's the truth, I'm not mad.
All right.
If
Bill,
I said something and it's the truth, then fuck me. But if you make it up, then I'm not happy.
how'd you get paired with Bill Alfonso? How'd that come about?
I wanted Paulie to be my manager. He didn't want to do it no more, or do it again. And so I said, I need someone to talk for me. And then I said, I wanted Fonzie. And then he worked out the angle and all that stuff with Taz and all that shit.
What made you actually want to get a manager all of a sudden?
I always wanted a manager because guys would dog me, you know, in promos, and I didn't rebuttal other than this, you know, the fuck.
Right.
That don't hurt anymore. It used to hurt like $1 million. Now it ain't worth a shit.
Who's
But I need someone to talk. You know, you gotta have someone. You're flat if you don't talk. You know, if I have someone to talk, same as a mouthpiece is just two guys. I'm still the wrestler. He's the mouthpiece. I think it works.
Now the whole time, I think in ECW you might have said like one word your whole time there. Did you at any time want to develop an interview style, or did Paulie always tell you not to do it?
No, he never told me nothing. He wanted me to talk. Everybody wants me to talk. I don't want to do it.
Right.
I can't talk.
What about the Dudleys? What are your thoughts on Bubba and Devon?
I don't know. I think they're cool.
As far
They ain't
as
shit with a table though.
yeah, I was gonna say, as far as the matches and stuff like that, how did all that work out?
Oh, the matches were fine. We always had okay. I don't know about good matches, but we always got along fine.
All right.
Had good, good attitude with each other.
When did your check start to bounce in ECW? Did yours ever bounce, or did he take care of you?
Sometimes they bounce. He didn't take. Sometimes they bounce.
Did you work out your problems with when that would happen with Paul pretty
No.
quickly, or
Yeah, they worked out.
what exactly led to your breakup with Paulie? Did anything ever lead to it?
Yeah, I wanted to make more money and to grow, and I couldn't make it in ECW.
Was there ever a storyline that was ever proposed to ECW that Paulie turned down, or vice versa, that he might have proposed to you and said, "Let's do this," and you said no, or you said something to him and he said no?
Yeah, but that decision was already made before that.
Right.
That was just one way of me getting out and him to piss me off.
Was there ever a time in ECW that you actually refused a job to somebody?
Yeah. Everybody's done that before.
Anybody in particular, and reasons why?
No.
What do you think was a downfall of ECW? You think it was the pay-per-views or the going on the
Wanted
TV?
me to get beat by somebody. No, I don't know. He's overspending, overspend.
What about Tajiri? What are your thoughts on Tajiri when he came into the company?
I really didn't like him then, but I like him now. But at the time, I thought he was too light, and something about him I didn't like. But after a while, he grew on me. And so I like him now, but for a while I didn't. Didn't like his style or him. I don't know why. I can't explain it.
Did he have the babyface look too much, maybe, or?
I know him from Japan. I wrestled him a bunch of times in Japan. He wore a mask, and I don't know. Just maybe because he was too shy, shying away from everything. So I didn't think he had it.
Right.
But maybe it was just him growing.
What about Steve Carino? What are your thoughts on when Steve came into the company?
I had no thoughts. I don't even remember him being there really until later on. And then he goes, "I know you hate me. Who the fuck are you?" And then, like when I wrestled him later on, he goes, "I thought you always hated me." I said, "No, I don't. Because I don't say hello, don't mean I like you or dislike you. It just means that we didn't cross paths yet."
Right.
You know what I mean?
You kept to yourself.
Yeah.
What do you remember about the XPW ECW riot in California at the pay-per-view?
I had nothing to do with it.
I know. I mean, were you there? Do you remember that night?
No, I wasn't there.
Okay,
No.
you weren't even.
Not really.
Going back to what were your thoughts on Super Crazy? And it seems like when you left, They gave him the table gimmick for a little bit.
The last match he wanted me to do a job for Super Crazy, and it could have been do the job for Hulk Hogan. I would have walked out. It could have been anybody. It could have been do the job for your mother. I would have walked out. Super Crazy happened to be the guy in the spot.
Rhino, what are your thoughts on Rhino?
Oh, Rhino's sweet. He's good.
You guys got along pretty good, right?
Yeah.
He's from around here too.
Yeah, like I helped him a little bit, so he's a good student. I didn't bring him up or nothing, but I helped him a little bit. So what little I helped him with, he absorbed it, and he's good. He's good.
How about Just Incredible? Some of your matches with PJ.
I like him too. He's real good.
I guess your last fallout with Paul, would that be overdoing the job Super Crazy, or
What's that again?
your last fallout with Paul? What actually was?
That was it. That was the final thing when I walked out.
Okay.
He handed me a script and goes, I want you to read this script. And I said, I don't know how to read. And I don't know how to read. But anyways, he goes, don't pull that shit. I'll read it to you. He started reading it out loud, so like people around me are looking at me like I'm stupid, like I don't know what to do, or I don't know what he's reading to me, like I'm stupid. So I was pissed. So I didn't even listen to him. At the very end of it, he goes, Super Crazy pinch it, 1, 2, 3. You can shake his hand, you can point up, or you can just leave. It's up to you. I said, all right, I'll just leave. He goes, okay, deal. Shook hands, walked away, I grabbed my bag and left.
Wow.
And I talked to him, he goes, that's not what I mean. I said, well, he said, just leave. I said, fuck. Chose just to leave. So he said, like, I didn't abide by the contract, that anything I didn't do, I'd be sued, so I just didn't do anything.
Right.
Paulie, like, it told him to do the tables and everything. I think Paulie was doing that just to spite you.
What's that again?
Paulie told him to break the tables and
Who's
all.
him?
Super Crazy. Cause he,
did he? I didn't.
yeah, because he was in the car with me and everything. So
really?
pretty much, I think.
didn't
Do you
know.
think Paul was doing that just to spite?
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, why not? He knows at the time it would piss me off.
But what led to your actual? That was a problem with you and Paul. But what actually led to that heat of the moment?
A bunch of shit. How I wasn't his favorite no more. You know, he started to push me to the side, and I said, "Well, fuck it. If you're gonna push me to the side, I'll go somewhere else." He goes, "No, can't have you. No one's gonna have you. I'll kill you." Pretty much. Like, he didn't say that, but
Right.
like if you don't have a career here, you're not gonna have one. And that I thought was pretty bold.
We were talking earlier one thing. I'm sorry. You said that
I might be wrong, but that's the way I felt.
with Chic style. We were talking about the Chic style and everything. You kind of wanted to do more of that in ECW sometimes, and Paulie was against that.
Right.
Do you think that Paulie, even though ECW was the violent, extreme, hardcore thing, do you think it could have even been more like FMW style? Do you think the FMW style, like back in the day, would have worked in ECW, like even more violent? Or do you think Paulie
more
just
violent
didn't know?
just means you kill it. You keep getting more violent.
Or it appeared to be more
the most
violent.
violent in the world, and how you top that? You know,
Or even appear instead of actually doing it, like appear. Yeah.
But appearing violent is just as bad as being as violent. It's hard to keep topping it. But like I said, FMW went from one barbed wire match a year to one a tour to 4 a tour to 16 matches in a row of barbed wire matches. It was ridiculous. You know, I had out of 16 matches, I had 15 matches. One day I had a regular match. You know, one right after another in Okinawa every fucking day. It's killing the barbed wire. For one, we're killing it for my enthusiasm, ripping apart my body, and then killing it for the fans. It's no longer a special event. You can't have an end of the world come every day. Mm-hmm. You know, you got to have the norm go, and then the end of the world every end of every tour or of every lead up to every pay per view. But end of the world can't come every day.
Do you think that Paulie was stubborn on some ideas where he wouldn't take?
Yeah, he wanted the end of the world to come every day. Also, you can't do that. Mm-hmm. It's impossible.
WCW signed you at the time when you had to split with Paul. And Terry Taylor claims that I guess you told him that you didn't have a contract, but Paulie said you did. What was the story behind all that?
Terry Taylor, what? He had nothing to do with it. I don't
Right.
think. What? Go ahead, say that again.
No, I thought that Terry Taylor got you into WCW or something like that. How'd you get into WCW again?
I didn't even know Terry Taylor. How did I get in WCW? Oh, Kevin Sullivan.
Kevin again?
Yeah.
Okay. What happened that they signed you and then Paulie said that you can't sign them, blah, blah, blah? And
He bluffed him and said that I had a binding contract and it was going to be a sweet fucking deal. And so they said, handle this yourself and you keep the deal, or we take it out of your second year money of the deal. And they go, it's going to be a lot of money. I said, don't worry about it. I'll handle it in a week. Until this day, I never got him to court. You know, so I lost a lot of fucking. I didn't lose money. Money I could have earned. He stopped me from earning it.
did you ever attempt to go back to ECW at all?
No.
No.
It was folded by then.
It was, yeah. Were you surprised to see it go out of business?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I figured probably would always find a way to keep it going.
Right. As far as ECW, what is the one thing that you want to be remembered for in ECW for?
For just leaving. No, I don't know. I don't know. You know, I don't know.
What was your highlight of your career in ECW? Just ECW now.
Probably that barbed wire match.
With Terry.
Because I actually got to say, this is what I want to do, this is the timing I want it, and so I want to do a ruthless match. Instead of being thrown into it and saying, fuck, I have to do it. You know, this was like I chose it. So I guess that was the best moment, or the highest moment.
Was there anything that you wish you did in ECW that you didn't, like any match? Or
I wish I didn't break my neck, that's for sure. But no, there's nothing, wrestling-wise, there's really nothing that much to regret. Nothing that sticks out. I'm sure if you bring up certain moments, I'd say yes or no. But
right.
Nothing stands out to me.
One of the funny things about
I had a hell of a time when it was going.
One of the funny things about the barbed wire match was I think Funk was competing on you, and you're sounding like Lawler in my eye. I don't know if you remember that.
What's that again?
You're like my eye, like Lawler and Terry.
But it did get my eye.
Oh, I know, but I thought you were doing what he did with
the rib with
Lawler
the empty arena match with Terry Funk. I thought you were ribbing.
No, I think it probably poked like this above my eye, and I was just exaggerating it.
How'd you wind up in XPW?
I think Big Dick Dudley hooked me up with Rob Black.
What are your thoughts on Rob and all that? What were your initial impressions of the company?
I thought it was the shits, but they wanted to pay me and kiss my ass, so I let them. You know.
Yeah,
they can suck my dick though.
Some of the girls.
They wanted what? We ain't using that part. No, there's nothing to be ashamed of.
What about Messiah? What are your memories of matches with Messiah?
I only had one real good match with him that stood out with me, but he's alright. He's just too skinny. He's got to gain some weight.
Did you feel like you were taking a step down working XPW as compared to ECW?
Yeah, of course.
All right. What led you finishing up in XPW?
I was supposed to be going to WCW at the time.
Right.
I got cut down like a cocksucker motherfucker. You know.
What led you leaving XPW?
Same thing with the ECW. Just I didn't like the direction of the company, and it started pushing me to the side.
Anything that stands out in XPW that you want to talk about, or is it just...
Did you work Rob Black in one match or something?
There was nothing that exciting in LA. Other than I like going to LA, but I didn't like wrestling for XPW.
Right.
Did you work Rob Black in a match and he got so blown up they had an imposter guy come out and pretend it was him or something?
That ain't why he blew up anyways, but they had an imposter guy.
That was supposed to happen.
Johnny Webb, yeah. yeah, that was supposed to happen.
Right.
Yeah. They wanted me to drop the lose to
Johnny
Messiah.
Webb. Yeah.
No, Messiah. Mm-hmm. But Messiah ended up fucking Rob Black's wife, so he got fired. Right. So they wanted me to drop it to anybody. I said, it ain't going to happen. So they wanted me to drop it to Rob Black. I said, it ain't going to happen. So they had two Rob Blacks to try to beat me.
Right.
And actually my manager got beat, what made me lose the belt.
Right.
So that was my last match. I said, fuck this shit.
What's your opinion about Messiah with getting his finger chopped off?
I thought it was great. That's great. It really happened.
Yeah.
Fuck.
What are your expectations from MECW? That was the promotion that John Collins was going to start.
Sorry for him, but something real happened. You know?
Right.
But what?
John Collins and MECW? What are your memories of that? It was like you only worked one match there.
No, I did a couple shows for John Collins.
In Indiana.
Yeah, probably.
Yep.
But then
I reached my all-time lowest. There was 15 people there, but those were wives and family. Only 4 paid. Now I used to say, I wrestle in front of 15 people. I'm serious. 15 people, but only 4 paid.
Wasn't that the one with like
That
Mr.
sucked.
Perfect and you guys?
Everybody
and
was
like
there.
limos and everything.
What's his name? Was it Barry Windham? A bunch of guys were there. Fuck.
wow. What do you think went wrong with that company?
Public Enemy. Yeah. They didn't have no money.
Right.
Shit, they sent me a huge check, and it was counterfeit. It wasn't even a real check. The bank accused me of making the check on my computer.
Holy shit.
I don't know how I had the balls or the brains to do that.
Now, when you went to Philly, you had a match again with Sandman. It was a tables and ladders match. Any memories of that match, or just another match?
Did any people think that was the next ECW, or did the boys were
The
hoping
boys
it?
sort of thought that, but I didn't. It was just another match. No, I wasn't wrestling like it was the end of the world.
Right.
I'd wrestle like I did any night.
How'd you end up at 3PW for Jasmine and Todd?
Todd
Called you up. What are your memories of working there?
It's all right. X-Spot. I wrestled him there, so I have some good memories there. Plus, Todd's cool.
How different was it working Sean these days compared to when you first worked him at?
Just as easy, just like we did it 10 years ago. I only worked him 3 times. 10 years ago, and then twice within the last couple of years.
Right. Has Paulie or WWE contacted you at all since ECW folded?
What's that?
Has WWE ever contacted you since ECW folded, or has Paul contacted you since?
No.
No.
Yeah, I've talked to him, but not about going
in
there.
there. Yeah. Okay. How did you wind up in NWA TNA?
They called me. This wasn't like the last time. The final time was with through Scott D'Amore, but the other 2 times before that, they just called me. I think. I don't think it was like anybody said, "Hey, you want to get in?" They called me, and I said, "Okay."
All right. What are your thoughts on some of your matches you had there?
I started to do good before I got sick, but fuck. Before that, I just started to like get into my groove there and feel comfortable. But I always felt like an outsider in the beginning, so I wasn't that comfortable, and it was a little bit frustrating for me. But I overcame it, and then I got sick.
Why is that as far as being an outsider?
I don't know. Everybody had their. I don't know how to explain
clicky?
it. Yeah, everybody's with who they knew, and shit. You feel out of place. You feel like you're in somebody's way when like they go move.
Huh.
What's your opinion of all like the new class of like high flyers and everything, doing things like even taking it to another step? What's your opinion on that?
I think it is nothing really. I think that it's good, real good, but I think it's doing too much. But that's all right. That's what everybody accused me of too.
Right. As far as
I wasn't doing too much. They are.
Jeff Jarrett, has he changed over time?
Now I'm not doing enough.
Right.
But
Has Jeff Jarrett changed over time now in TNA? Now that
he's always been a good guy.
Right.
I didn't really know him before this, anyways. Before TNA, I knew who he was. We talked a little bit, but I know him a little bit better now. But I still don't know him. But he's always been a nice guy.
Right. They also paired you with Sanjay Dutt. Were you for or against that, Sanjay?
No, I didn't care. I didn't think anyway about it. He's a nice guy, good worker.
What happened with your program with Raven in TNA? What are your thoughts on that?
It didn't happen. I got sick.
Yeah, they were building up to it. I know Raven was really.
Like we had one match and was hopefully going to turn it up and make it a good thing. And like I said, I just started to not turn it up. Things just started working for me when I got through this time.
How come that match never happened in ECW?
It just never came up.
Did you want it? Or
no, that I wanted or just didn't want it. It just never happened.
Right.
And I never said, "Hey, Paul, I want to wrestle somebody." He said, "Tonight you're wrestling this guy.
Right.
And tomorrow maybe this guy. Then tomorrow comes and he goes, no, you're gonna wrestle this guy." It wasn't like there was a 6-month plan where I knew what was going on.
Right.
What are your thoughts?
And if I did, I didn't remember.
What are your thoughts on Raven as a person?
He's cool as shit. Yeah. If I was to have a company, I would hire him in the creative department for sure.
Definitely, he's a great mind.
He's dumb as fuck, but I'd hire him anyway.
Thoughts on ICP and touring with them?
I had a blast. They're cool. They're not wrestlers. They're good musicians, whatever. But they're good to hang out with. They're fun as shit.
What about Vampiro?
He's all right too. He's fun to hang out with.
Now you worked a couple shows also for us. Guess what's up in Canada?
What?
Teddy Hart.
I like him.
In Canada. What was some of your memories working for the Stu Hart anniversary show? How did that come about? Just went up there.
His aunt, which is Diana Hart, she called me and said, "I just want you to wrestle my nephew." Stu. I think Stu. I'm not sure. I don't know how I got up there. I worked there before a year ago or so for Bruce, so maybe this was through Bruce.
Right. How'd that match go with Teddy?
It was okay. It was all right. He was real green, but it was fun.
Do you think he has a future in the business?
Yeah, if he shuts up.
You also went to Puerto Rico and you worked for Carlos Colon's promotion. What was that like for you?
I loved it. It was great. It was like old school time capsule.
And Abyss, I guess Abyss was down there at the time?
No,
was
for the other company.
Yeah, for the other company. Oh, didn't you work at all for?
Abyss switched over with Dutch Mantel when Dutch Mantel left IWA, and then Carlos. What guys were you working down there in Puerto Rico?
Carly Colon, El Bronco.
Who'd you do the bar to bar with, Bronco?
Yeah.
Right.
How'd that go?
It was all right. It wasn't great.
But
it's hard to have a great match when the other guy don't want to do it.
What do you think that's a tough promotion to work with the older guys, or do you like it because the fans still believe and it's easy?
Those older guys will turn it up if they want to. You know.
Do you even do the tables down there, or you don't?
Yeah,
you do. So that's something they probably.
Well, they have one big show a week. You know, so they can only afford one table a week. So I understand it. You know, they wrestle all week long, but they can only afford one table a week.
Speaking of the clones, what are your thoughts on working against Carly? How was he to work with?
Carly's real good listener and young, got a good body.
Got a good future for WWF.
Oh, yeah. Well, he's got a good future for himself. Fuck WWF.
Now back to TNA. Do you think a lot of people got a lot of preferred treatment in TNA? A lot of guys. You said earlier it was cliquish and stuff like that. And
Yeah, I'm sure there was. And there's a lot, and I'd gossip about it, but I don't know like firsthand.
Right.
I don't know exactly, but I see it and hear it. But I don't care as long as they treat me fairly. They can treat other guys better, but if they treat me fairly, that's all that counts. You know, and they can treat other guys as good as they want it.
what are your thoughts on Kid Cash?
He's great. He's good. Real good.
Good hand.
Hell yeah.
What about Bob Ryder as far as management positions? Do you get along with Bob?
He's in the management?
Well, you know what I mean. Office.
Oh.
He's an office guy.
Oh, he's all right.
Right.
Yeah. He's cool.
What about America's Most Wanted?
I had to say that, right? He's in the office. No, he's cool.
America's Most Wanted, as far as the tag team, how would you rate them? Good workers?
Yeah. I don't watch much of their stuff because it's usually right before mine or right after mine. So I can't watch something right before me or right after me. But before my match or after my match. But yeah, when I watch them, they're good.
You worked low-key for an independent promotion up in Queens, New York. What are your memories working with low-key? Was there any problems in that match?
Yeah, we had a horrible match, and I wanted to do it again, but the promoter won't let us do it again. But people thought I had a bad match on purpose. I've never had a bad match on purpose in my life. They happened to be bad matches. That's just not my day, you know, or not my opponent's day. And that day, I don't think it was either one of our days. And it just was the shits. It was terrible. They thought I didn't catch him. They thought I purposely was fucking up spots. I was fucking him up because I fucked him up.
Didn't he do a spot and then he like punched a chair and everything?
I don't remember.
Yeah.
I know it was the shits. I remember the good ones better than the bad ones. The bad ones, I fuck them.
Talk about the new generation of indie workers. What do you think is right and what is wrong with today's wrestling?
I don't know. I don't watch that much, especially lately. I think the guys are getting smaller, which is okay, but they're just doing more. If you're smaller, you should do less. But anyways, I don't know. I have no opinion on today's wrestling. It sucks, I guess.
Is there anybody that you like to watch more than anybody else?
The only thing I can watch is WWF. I don't watch, so no. I mean, I guess Mysterio's good to watch. No, there ain't nobody I like to watch.
You worked there your last indie appearance, like in Philly, New York. You wrestled Homicide at USA Pro. Do you like working him?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I want to work. I know I can have a good match low-key. You know, it was a bad day for one of us. I can't believe someone would think I purposely would have a bad match. How can you say, I'm going to go out and fuck this match up? You can't do that. I mean, what kind of a fucking professional are you? You're going to say, I'm going to try my best. If it happens to fall short, oh well, you know.
As far as WWE, do you like the product that is out there today at WWE or no?
What's that again?
Do you like the product WWE is shoving down everybody's throat?
I don't like. I don't watch them too much. I don't know. It's just too fancy. It's just too pampered and too scripted and too much
Too much
other
talk.
people involved who ain't wrestlers.
No substance either. Like,
Well, I don't even know about that. It's just there's people telling the wrestlers what to do and don't fucking wrestle. Now, what we do now is we're stunting in a soap opera. You know what I mean? Well, not what I do, but what they do. They're stuntmen in a soap opera, which means the control of their fate is written in a piece of paper. Not through the fans, not through yourself, not through your booker. It's through someone who don't know fuck about you or fuck about the business. You know, so that kind of sucks to have that someone over you who don't know fuck about you or fuck about the business.
what do you feel about the openness of the business? I know, like you're probably more against that compared. You probably sell everything more than probably any wrestler there was. At least in ECW, I knew that. What's your opinion on the openness of the business? And what was the Sheik's opinion of the business, how it opened up? Because everybody knows that he's the ultimate kayfabe, and he hated it.
Yeah, I hate it too, but you can't. What can you do? You gotta be the only guy that hates it.
I guess, what was the most painful injury you ever had?
Probably the broken neck thing.
Okay.
That tends to hurt.
What's your opinion of Japan now? Like, especially like how it seems to be falling, even probably almost more than it is in the United States. What do you think is the too many companies?
It's too much. Yeah.
Do you think Inoki?
Everybody's already seen it all. What are you going to fucking do? That's why they're all working with each other because nobody has all the stars. The stars all want their own company.
Right.
Hashimoto, Chono, fucking Muda, they all got their own company.
Do you think that's a
They all
problem?
started in the same company. Now they all want their own. What the fuck?
That's a problem.
Can't we get along? What?
Right. Do you think That
no, there's too many kings. One guy's got to be king. Baba and Inoki were king. Boom. Everybody accepted that. But now they're good. Well, Inoki's still here, but since Baba's gone, there's new room at the top. Everybody wants to be at the top, even if they're not even following Baba. Hajimoto, all of them guys started the company to take place to compete with New Japan.
Right.
Not to compete with them, compete against them. You know what I mean? But they're giving in because they can't survive. New Japan has tons of money.
Do you think Inoki's hurt the business with promoting of the shoot style, like in the matches, or?
No. Yeah, you're right. Because they have the guys scared of the shooters, and the shooters scared of the workers, and it's both looking bad. And the shooters are working too much, and the workers are working too much. They're making it way too easy. Yeah, and it hurts the business when you compare a shoot with a work.
Right.
A shoot is ugly, fast, and hard hitting. A work is pretty and flamboyant, and gives you a show. It gives you a story. You don't want the raw truth with the story. You don't want them to see the difference, especially back to back. I'm not sure if I'm right. That's my opinion. I shouldn't even say what you want or not, whatever. I don't want to see the two compare both of them back to back. You know what I mean? It's two different contests, but people think it's relatively the same. I guess it basically is the same, but you don't want to shoot on a work.
Now you were like in your career.
I don't want to shoot on a work.
In your career in FMW, you were a main eventer. You were like the star or the top guy in the company. And then in New Japan, they have the heavyweights and the junior weights, and even Jushin Liger will never be a main eventer ever. Do you disagree with that? Where the junior heavyweights don't?
And WWF proved it with putting Benoit and Guerrero as top guys. Yeah. It ain't size; it's what you can do. Not even the moves you do. It's how you can continue to do it every day and get the people involved or keep them happy. I mean, anybody can get people up once a week or once a month in Philadelphia. The trick is doing it every day. Like I did it every day in Japan. I'd come home and do it once a month in Philadelphia.
Right.
And then when one time I wouldn't do it, they go, he's the shits. But in Japan, I have 14 matches to be good or bad. You know what I mean? I can be bad in one and be good in 13. Philadelphia, I'm bad in one. I'm bad for one until the next fucking month.
The whole month.
You're bad. Until then, I'm getting bad mouth. People don't understand that. And some days are my days, and some days aren't.
Do you think your size held you back in Japan, where they wouldn't put you in?
They wanted me to be top junior, and I said, "Well, I want to move on to heavyweights." That's why I left. There was no other reason.
That's why you left New Japan.
They were paying me the most money I ever had. I had the most power I ever had. It was great. Everything was going my way, except for they didn't want me to make me a heavyweight. So I wanted to leave and come back as a heavyweight. But when I left, that's when ECW and everything started going down, and I fucked up shit all over the place.
Now FMW,
if I would have stayed with them, I think I could have proved to them I could have been a heavyweight. But probably around now, which is 10 years later,
right? FMW, they were a company that did the pretty much garbage wrestling and it made money, and then all the companies afterwards they couldn't copy it. Do you think that in Japan they can have another?
They could copy it. That's what made it even more garbage. That's the thing. Anybody can hit someone with a chair,
and then it goes up and up.
Right.
Do you think an FMW style company could ever come back in Japan, or do you think it's dead?
It could come back if you got. Yeah, it could come back. Like Big Japan does that light bulb stuff.
Right.
If anybody got hit with a light bulb, they know it doesn't hurt.
Right.
You have to bring objects. If a fan hits the other fan with it, it's going to knock him out or kill him. You can't have him hit with a light bulb and laugh at you, and then you go in the ring and sell it.
Right.
It's ridiculous.
Right.
It has to be something like that. And I'm not saying like barbed wire. Even if it's fake barbed wire, like not pointed, it still fucking hurts.
Yeah, it still sticks.
But I would never go in a ring with didn't have the points or the real barbed wire.
The barbs.
They don't hurt that much more.
Did Big Japan ever contact you to do any of the light tubes and all that?
Yeah. I was going to one time, and I found out, I said, I don't want to do any gimmick matches until I call it. And I went, and I read in my wife read in the magazine.
Kojika was the promoter?
Yeah, Kojika and
Nakamaki?
He was there, but I was supposed to wrestle Kendo Nagasaki.
Oh, Kendo Nagasaki.
But they call him something else in Japan. Sakuraba. Okay. Kendo Nagasaki, that's his name in Japan.
Right.
Anyways, I was supposed to wrestle him every day in a gimmick match, or like a barbed wire board, a barbed wire baseball bat, thumbtack match. My wife read that in the magazine a week before I was supposed to go over, so I'm canceling, I'm not coming, because I said no gimmick matches. I want $20,000 for a gimmick match. And then I said, okay, we'll just put you in regular matches. So I only did one gimmick match and I quit.
Right. Going back to FMW, I think you did that. The Yokohama baseball stadium, you wrestled Nakamaki. Was there anything happen in that match?
No, everybody thought something out of the ordinary happened. It didn't happen. I had to knock his tooth out, if you call that out of the ordinary. But I didn't necessarily pick that tooth and knock out. It wasn't on purpose.
Didn't he have heat because he
had to?
Didn't he have heat because he was like a baseball writer and he broke kayfabe of kayfabe baseball or whatever?
Right. He exposed like the the wife cheating or the cheating on the
scandals.
wives and all that, and mention names. It's okay to tell the truth, but don't mention names. You mention names, you're in trouble.
Right.
And that's what he had a lot of.
But didn't he come in? He did only the one match with FMW, and then went right away to Wing.
Yeah.
What happened with that? And what did he have? I heard he had a lot of heat on with a lot, like Onita.
Yeah,
like
he had a lot of
Onita.
heat, but
they had like a shoot fight and like a press conference. Like the one showed up and it was like a real fight. And
Yeah, but they ended up working together.
Yeah.
You know.
With them.
Yeah, because Onita trained him for like a year, and then he had one match.
This is
left.
protege.
And he went from being a young boy to being top guy in Wing. That was the offer. He goes, "Come work for us. We'll put you top guy."
Right.
After you wrestled your first match, he wrestled his first match and became top guy. And
He wrestled Kenny Moore, I think.
first year.
Yeah.
Then he went to Wing and became top guy. So he was a shits, but they offered him to be top guy. You know,
Right.
he was so stupid he didn't know that being top guy right away is the shits. You know?
Right.
There's only place to go from there is down.
now another thing, just some people want to know. I think in FMW, like Sheik left at one time. I think he was in full time '92, and then he left. He was supposed to have. Didn't he like turn on Tiger Jeet Singh? And you went with Tiger Jeet Singh and Sheik and them, and they were supposed to have the match. Why didn't they ever have that match?
Sheik got sick, and I wasn't supposed to go with anything. I only did it because Sheik got sick. He got
Okay.
sick. He had a heart attack or something. Not a heart attack, gallbladder, ulcer in his stomach.
Is that where he?
No, that's one of the
some-
guts there.
Right.
Probably.
Okay, so that's why that match never happened because
Right.
I have the magazines and they had this big
He
build
didn't come
up.
back for like 9 months later, so that was Tiger has already pissed everybody off. And
Yeah,
out of the company.
and then didn't like Onita. What happened with Onita after they had the Street Fight tournament, and then he jumped
Caught that
in
bridge,
Osaka or
caught
something
hepatitis
from the cuts, and they almost killed him, right?
Yeah, he jumped in a dirty ass river after a barbed wire match, and jumped in the water and goes ah, he's stinking all over.
Was there any worries like back in that time, like with all the barbed wire and the cuts?
Not at the time afterwards, and I got tested and all that stuff, and now it's kind of it was mandatory back when FMW started up again after Onita left, when it was just FMW, the wrestling company.
Right.
They did an age
Fuyuki
test.
was in there and all this.
And New Japan does an age test, but I don't know. I'm sure WWF does now, but the independents don't.
Right.
What are your thoughts on some of the indies that you've been working overall? What are your thoughts on just indie shows in general?
They suck. But what can you do?
Any one promotion that might stand out that you like working for in particular these days?
3PW was all right, and Frank Goodman stuff is all right.
Just too long of shows.
Way too long.
As far
I'm
as
still waiting to go on.
as far as talent, is there anybody out there that sticks in your mind saying, "Oh, they're going to
Everybody
make it"?
sucks. Mostly everybody sucks, but no, I can't pick out one guy without mentioning another guy without pissing everybody off.
Right. Have you trained anybody recently that anyone can take note of? Is there anybody? No.
I was helping with a couple guys died. I was training these guys.
Oh, I heard
one guy.
Yukon.
Yukon Braxton. He was complaining about a pain in his neck. He goes, he had a bump on one side and it kept switching from side to side. And I go, fucking suck it up. A week later, he died. Brain aneurysm. So shit. Sorry.
In Japan, there was a lot of guys that.
So no, I'm not training nobody. They might die.
In Japan, there was a lot of guys that were really over that got booked a lot, like American guys. How come, like
Yeah,
like
I put one
Lecter,
guy out, but
like Lecter and Loser? How come they never made it in the United States anywhere? Or
I don't know why. I don't know.
You were going to say something though.
One guy I'm helping out was a real good student. Is Monty Brown.
Yes.
He's good as shit. He's a good student.
he's the football player, right?
Yeah.
I've seen the one match you had with Matina. You guys brought him. I think it was the first time you worked.
Yeah, but we were so restricted. They wanted us to do it like a street fight. He shouldn't be even knowing what a street fight is yet.
Right.
He's only wrestling 2 years.
Right.
You know, he should be a mat wrestler, bring him up slow, and still not even slow. Have us wrestle in the ring.
Well, who's
That's not
the
as
decision
slow
on
as a mat. I don't know.
I mean, is it something that you could go to the office with and go, "Don't you guys know? You guys are supposed to be the office and you know the business."
I go to one guy. He goes, "So and so told me." Go to him. So and so told him. Then it goes. You know.
So
now I'm making waves and complaining to everybody.
Right.
You know. I asked usually if I don't like something in TNA, I'll tell whoever told me. I say, "Hey, can we change it like this?" And they'll go ask whoever it is if it can be changed. And most of 99% of the time is no.
Do you think that
But
brings?
I understand it. They have their own plan, but you know, it's no. I can't say no. We don't want to have a street fight. They have something in mind. What they want for the end of the match, the only way to lead to it in their mind is this way.
Did you agree with Dutch Mantel's book, or are you happy now that Dusty's got the book?
Dusty has the book.
Yeah, he just started 2 weeks
Woohoo.
ago. Yep, Jeff's.
He owes me money.
What do you think?
No, he doesn't.
Do you think that what was I going to say? The management team. Do you think either they're not qualified, or maybe they're too overqualified, or like behind the times? Like Jerry Jarrett's behind the time, or Dutch Mantel.
I haven't seen the show in a little while. I try to watch it on Fridays, but I always forget. I haven't been there in 3 months. I don't know.
Right.
You know, when I'm away from the business, I'm pretty much away. You know, I don't really see what goes on. If I'm going to go wrestle tomorrow, I'll look on the internet tonight because I can't sleep.
Right.
But if I'm not wrestling tomorrow, I really don't care about it. You know?
What do you see for yourself in the future of this business?
Not that I don't care. I don't pay attention.
Right.
But what?
What do you see as the future for yourself in this business?
I don't know. Honestly, I think I'll do all right.
Okay. Are you bitter at all or angry at the business at all for anything?
No.
No.
Basically, no. No.
Do you feel that you should be owed more?
Yeah, I'm mad because I'm not rich.
Speaking, I was going to ask you, one of my questions was about Paul Lee. Do you feel that he...
Speaking of Rich, Paul Lee.
Do you think he should have... I guess you were owed more by Paul Lee and the rest of the crew at ECW because you pretty much put them on the map?
No, that's not why I thought I was promised more.
Right.
You make me a promise, then that's a promise, you know. But not because I thought I was a bigger name, bigger star than anybody else. It had nothing to do with that. If it came down to it, maybe I would have thought about that way. But it didn't. My main argument was I was promised. I was promised more.
Right.
At what point in your career, going back to your uncle, what point in your career did your uncle actually go, wow, you've made it, where he was actually really impressed?
After 9 years.
What match
That's
did he
right
watch?
after the fire match.
Oh, okay, the fire
We're on
match.
our way home about 3 weeks after the fire match because he was burned up. He had to stay in the hospital for about 3 weeks. And he was so sorry, you know, he's so fucked up. But on the way home, he's complaining, I need this, I need a pillow under my arm, I gotta go to the bathroom, I gotta do this, bend over so I can kick you, stuff like that. So then finally, I was kind of getting frustrated, and then he patted me on my head, I go, what? And he goes, I'm proud of you. I go, whoa. 9 years, he never said he was proud of me. Actually, 11 years, I trained for 2 years first. It's the first time he ever said he was proud of me. It meant a lot. But that was 9 years after I became a wrestler.
What was the circumstances? I guess his last wrestling match, was against Damien in the stadium. Did he have a heart attack after that match?
Yeah, the next morning.
In Japan?
Yeah.
Okay. And then...
Waiting to go to the airport, he had a heart attack. It wasn't in the match.
Right. Did he know at that time that was probably his last time?
No.
Or he still...
before I went to Japan, or before he died, I was going to Japan the next day, and he even said... I go, I'll tell him you want one more match, and he winked. Of course, he's not done there. He always wants one more match.
Right.
And at the time, he wasn't responding to anything, so he responded very little to me going to Japan, and that I'll tell him, you want another match. But then when I was on my way to Japan, he died while I was in the air. By the time I landed, everybody told me he was dead, which was 20 minutes before I had to go in front of 40,000 people at the Tokyo Dome.
Right.
It wasn't a good house, that's why I said 40, not 60. And I'm lying about 40.
Right. When the Sheik wasn't there, even when he was at home done wrestling, did he have did you go to him for live advice? But more political advice, like what companies to work?
No. He didn't pay attention to that shit. I try not to either.
Right.
Or also, he didn't pay attention to that. He was just saying, this is what your path you want. No matter this guy likes it or not, if you work for that guy, this is the path you're going to take, or you don't work for him. You know what I mean? And I compromised that path a lot, what pissed him off a lot of times. But he also was proud of me a little bit. But the way his thinking was worked in his day. Today is different, You got to compromise, and everybody knows everything that's going on. I still don't like to know what's going on with me, and I don't admit to it.
Right.
But they do, fuck.
Just one thing with your uncle, one more thing. I think we were at the NWA show, and there was a lot of old-timer NWA guys. There's a story that the Sheik did when he came back to NWA in '87, and they did the big Detroit show. He teamed with Dusty and Murdoch. How come he was billed to return? I think it was the night Flair and Garvin might have been in the cage in Joe Louis Arena. How come he no-showed?
It was Cobo Hall.
In Cobo Hall?
Yeah.
They had the big house.
Because they didn't pay him from the first one.
They didn't even pay him?
No, they were supposed to get 10% of the gate, which was $14,000.
It was their best house in years there, right?
It was a $114,000 house. He was supposed to get $14,000 of it, and they didn't give him $1,000.
They gave him $1,000.
And they go, we'll give it to you next time. He said, forget it.
Right, because he was supposed to...
It was him and Kevin Sullivan and Dusty.
He turned on... It was him and Dusty, and then he turned on Dusty. It was supposed to be Sullivan and Sheik versus Murdoch and Murdoch and Dusty are supposed to team for the first time.
The two bad guys against the two outlaws.
Right, and then...
Old outlaws, whatever.
And then he just no-showed.
Right, well, they didn't pay him.
Right, so, okay, because...
They
nobody...
gave him 1/10 of what they were supposed to, so they go, well, we'll make it up next time. He said, well, I'm not coming then.
Because a lot of the old timers were asked, they didn't even know about it.
I would have said, damn, you're not going to pay me? Please?
Do you think it was wrong for Paulie to take a job with WWE right away and have a lot of the guys who wrestled for him went broke? And how he left right away? You think it was
No, he's you got to survive too.
okay?
Damn, it's
Somebody at the door?
It's midnight
Hold
already.
on.
I do.
Camera's off. That's all.
See you guys.
Nice talking to you. Take care.
Camera's off.
Oh, okay.
Thoughts of the
I don't
former
like those
ECW guys going to
I wish I
WWE?
had a coffee, man. I got coffee in the lobby.
You got Budweiser.
Yeah, I want a coffee though.
I know. It is good, wasn't it?
Ain't that good. I just want one. Shit. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, as far as ECW,
That ain't on, is it?
I don't
No.
think so. ECW wrestlers in WWE. What are your feelings on them? As far as seeing some of the guys that were in ECW, like the Dudleys and Tommy.
I really don't feel much about it. Everybody thinks I have an opinion on everything. I don't. I learned being around my uncle, you got to live your own life, and if something brings interest to you, okay, but don't go out of your way to look for something, unless, I don't know, it's hard to explain. I don't go, hey, what's going on with Dreamer? Let me find out, let me search it down, let me look on there. If he happens to do something in front of me, then I'll comment on it.
Right.
Usually I don't even comment on it. I just, at the moment maybe, but I don't remember it. There's so much shit that happens in my mind. Not that I'm saying it happens more to my life than anybody else's, but so much shit happens to me where I can't remember everything. Fuck.
Right.
Huh? No, I'm not saying my life's more exciting than anybody else's. It's just that I can't remember everything. I don't have the brain for it.
As far as Vince McMahon, did he ever want to bring you in and maybe change your name or anything like that?
How'd you hear that?
I was a rumor.
Yeah, back when I had that stupid tryout thing, he said that they wanted to change my look and they don't hire talent, they develop it. Change my name and modify my look. In which later on became the Sultan and the Iron Sheik. He wanted the Iron Sheik to be my uncle, which was retarded.
That would have been
Yeah.
Still wrong shit.
Uncle would have died before he died. Well, I would have killed him. I would have broke his heart at least.
You should have did promos back in the day because you're hilarious as shit. So
Is he?
no, you.
No, you.
Shit.
You got a dry sense of humor. But anyway,
You do.
definitely.
You do.
Did WWE ever contact you when they were doing the ECW DVD?
No.
Not at all. Did you see it?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, I was going to
Is
ask
it
you.
good?
It's
Yeah,
really
you're
nice.
you're put over. They
Yeah,
put
so
you-
what? Send me my money. Somebody goes, aren't you glad about the ECW DVD? I go, why? They go, send me some money. I go, I don't know, but it's good, right? I go, well, it's not good unless they send me some money. Then I'll say, ooh, good DVD.
Yeah.
What
No,
are
I
you,
shouldn't be that bitter about it. I'm not bitter about it. It's just, I see Vince making money on me when I don't make money on me. What the fuck? Shit. Go ahead.
if he were to call you up and say, we got an idea for you, would you ever go there now or no?
I would consider it now. Before
Right.
I wouldn't consider it.
Right.
Things are so bad now. The business, it sucks,
Right. What are your feelings on newsletters like Dave Meltzer and Wade Keller?
Nah, I don't know. I guess it's good. It's okay now. Back in the day, I thought it sucked because they exposed too much. But now I guess it's okay. You can't expose enough now. You expose so much, people don't even believe you now if you expose it. They go, nah, we don't believe you. Telling them the truth, they don't believe you.
What do you think it will take to get the business back to the way it was?
Another company to open up. Hopefully there is. Another major thing. Like,
Turner.
no, like John Collins.
Yeah. It's starting to be 5 people.
Well, I was in Zurich a couple years ago, and Simon Diamond goes, I'm so excited I can't sit still. I got to talk to somebody. I go, why? What's wrong? He goes, man, this guy called me, offered me a contract. He's going to fax it over to me right now. I'm so excited. What's his name? He goes, John Collins. I go, what? I said, calm down. He goes, no, it's going to happen. I said, I'm not going to say nothing. I said, but tomorrow tell me at the sign with the contract. He goes, no, it didn't come yet. It's going to be when I get home. I said, why can't he fax it? You can fax it around the world as easy as you can fax it right next door.
Right.
It's not much difference.
Right.
Maybe 50 cents more. There's not much difference. I said, it ain't never coming. I had seen him about 6 weeks ago, or 6 months ago, and he said, it still ain't came yet. He's still waiting. Don't get on the phone. Don't tie the line up.
He just went to jail, John
Simon?
Collins.
Oh, yeah.
What?
Killing John Collins. Yeah, he's in prison.
Yeah, he's in federal prison. Yeah.
He said he had the money from the guy who owns the Dallas Mavericks.
Oh,
$200
Mark
million.
Cuban.
The guy's making $200 million from a wrestling company. He sent me a check for $9,000 that was counterfeit. It wasn't even a real check, let alone not no money in the account. It wasn't even an account. And the bank accused me of fucking making it myself.
Do you think another indie
Well,
promotion?
Daddy is a good guy. I actually was. He wined and dined you. We had limousines. There was 15 people. Like I said, four paid. We had limousines.
Crazy.
It was great.
Games, all types, man.
Do you think that another indie actually can break out like ECW did if that was done right?
Yeah, yeah. I think, yeah.
Do you think an old school territory could, where you can run like a big? Do you think a big time promotion could run in this area?
No, Vince already killed that. No.
There's no little
like,
towns
like Memphis used to be.
The studio one day, TV, and then the little towns and the big one show, like in one area.
You can. I don't think there'd ever be any money. It'd be back in the old days working for $20.
Right.
You know, and
nothing you can live on.
I don't think so. Maybe the guy who owns it could live on it.
Right,
know.
but not the boys.
Because the guys who own Memphis, Jarrett and Lawler, they made money.
But then everybody else made $40 a
night. Paulie never lost weight. Because he didn't have, he had money to survive, but not enough money to pay everybody. He could have paid a couple guys, but why pay a couple guys when everybody else can be just as mad if you don't pay anybody?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And I'm sure he paid a couple of his favorites. I suppose one of his favorites anymore. I wish I would have been.
What do you think happened to make you not one of his favorites anymore?
I don't know. I got married, I guess. He thought someone else was interfering in my business. I don't know, really. I wanted to grow. I don't know.
Huh.
I didn't like being tied down. That's why I was always, I never considered myself. They go, you working for an indie this week? Yeah, that's what I do every fucking week. When I worked for ECW, that was independent to me. Like I said, that was one day a month. It wasn't my life. And, okay, that one day a month was 4 weeks or 5 weeks of TV, so people thought I was there for 5 weeks. I was there for one day, And once I left there, I'd never seen what was going on. So after I did the double cross and came back, and then I got the tape sent to my house every week.
Speaking of the double cross, that was done, I think, right after WrestleMania when Brett and Austin did their double turn. Do you think that? I think it was. Do you think it hurt?
See, back then I really didn't know anything about anybody else. I was so busy doing my thing, driving in every fucking week and all that shit.
Right.
Which was fun at the time, but I didn't have time to look at anything else.
Who'd you actually hang with on the road in ECW? Fonzie and who else?
Oh, you did Winnebago, right?
Yeah, I had a big motorhome. Fonzie, Pee Wee, Van Dam, his wife, my wife, Bobby Duncan's, Bacoli.
Any good road stories?
Tommy Roach. Roach stories? No, I can't say that. But Tracy Smothers, Guido. We had a ball. Fuck.
What happened down in Florida with the jet ski with you, Rob Van Dam and his wife and all that?
We were jet skiing, boom, 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 and they cut in front of me. Oh shit! They cut in front of me, and we hit them and broke her leg.
Wow. How close are you and Rob to this day?
I don't talk to him too much. I talk to him when my uncle died, and that's about it so far.
Who do you remain friends with today in the business?
Scott Demore. Raven's cool. Raven's cool as shit. He called me a few times. Kid Cash. There's a lot of guys. Terry Funk, he called me a bunch of times. Abdul the Butcher, they called me. Monty Brown was a lot of guys. There's a lot of guys that are cool. Just, when I was sick, I wasn't talking to nobody, so they couldn't call me if they wanted to.
Right. What is the extent of your injuries today?
I'm getting better. My left arm's getting better. Because what happened was I caught an infection in Puerto Rico, and then I felt like a pinched nerve in my hip, and I couldn't walk. And I went to the hospital, and a bunch of shit happened. I was in the hospital for 2 months. Finally got the infection out, but I'm still trying to grow my muscle back so I can start wrestling again.
How long do you think it will be until you get back in the ring?
Well, right now is November what?
30th.
Okay, and it happened the first happened 3 months ago. I just got out of the hospital 3 weeks ago. So probably January I'll probably be lifting weights.
Cool.
I hope.
Any good rip stories that you have? Anything funny that you've witnessed in the past?
Spicoli beat we already went over that one. Huh. He beat on the bus.
Yeah.
Not really. I don't want to incriminate myself. Why? What time is it? Is it almost the end?
Pretty much.
Well, maybe part 2 I'll come up with a story.
Cool. Do you think Taz took his gimmick too seriously?
Yeah. Everybody thought I did, but I didn't. Just when it came down to game time, I took it serious. Outside the ring, I didn't give a shit. He kind of carried it out outside the ring. But then he eased up. He understood what he was doing.
Right.
He ain't dumb. He was just blinded a little bit sometimes. So was I. We all were.
I guess if you had a chance, if you ever had a time to say anything to your fans out there, would you ever want to say anything to them? To let them know anything?
I'd just say buy a ticket. No, I don't know what to say without sounding corny or stupid.
Right.
Why, is that on?
No, I don't think so.
All right.
What is it?
I don't know. I want to go eat. You want to go eat?
Yeah, sure.
Let's go eat again.
You wanna
Cool,
go
man.
eat?
Hell yeah.
Sushi.
All right,
Cool.
thanks.
Awesome.
Whoop.
Oh,
Good
shit.
job, guys.
Cool.